am the pop.
You are the pop?
I am the pop.
Okay. You are the POP.
You tell me if you got control, Lawrence.
It is so loud, but I think
it's just the main menu. I can't do anything about the main menu.
And I can move.
All right, have at it. If I remember correctly, you were working your way through nerve something.
I was level 65, 16 hours in.
Yeah.
I know.
He was playing on his time off on your computer.
On my computer.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of grinding in between the episode.
He astral projected himself in his sleep.
I figure it would probably be best, or maybe like most applicable, to just go over, just remind us about some of the stuff that we're doing. So Saba kind of asked, oh god, I forgot you have the fucking fist weapons. By the way, I did look it up as to why I was super incorrect about the fist weapons. It was a discussion online on the Reddit where people were like, man, I wish that these weapons were more interesting. So it's like literally the exact opposite of what I said. Because as I kind of indicated to you, I went with like a mixed dex strength build, and that servant's needle that you found in the previous session, that was my main weapon until I got to the late game. You know what I mean? So I didn't really play with anything else. So I didn't know. Oops. But anyway, Lawrence, do you recall what your objective is in the overall story?
It is to reach what button is the map? There you go. Reach. Now how do I zoom out? Reach. There you go. This big old thing right here.
Which we don't know what it is. We're just like, that looks like someplace we gotta go.
It certainly looks important. I think we can all agree to that.
It looks pretty friendly.
Also, I would have chosen those fast weapons because that's how I am. I don't like slow.
Well, that's the thing. I also usually choose the fast weapons. Like,
I just like more things happening, right? The more you can hit, the more it feels like satisfying to me. Of course, there's like a limit of like, I'm like hitting 20 times and it's like only taking like the damage down to like a quarter. Then that's like a little too
I don't like whittling people down, but I like being quick, you know?
Yeah.
The servant's needle is the closest that I think this game gets to like a rapier sort of thing, and I really liked it, you know?
Yeah.
I totally get it. I usually also play Dex, but I just felt like
go for an ultra strength build, dude.
Yeah, go for an ultra strength.
It's just like the same idea, Zach, of like what he said, Monster Hunter, and like with the big hammer, right? It's like that's how I view usually like slower
sorry,
weapon.
Lawrence, that's so unfortunate for you.
I gotta get used to the timing again.
Hey, you're already doing great. But yeah, Saba, you're right, because it's just like, in fact, you mentioned that, and I was just about to say, I was looking at weapons that Lawrence will, you know, have access to if he's going for a nearly pure strength build. And there is a weapon in the late game that's 25 strength, 5 dex, and it's a giant fuck you sword that's literally just a slab of rock. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, slabs of rocks.
Yeah.
It's the slowest thing I have. Wait, can you whack that? Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god, I could.
It is the slowest motherfucking thing I have ever seen, and I think that's incredible. Don't forget the dash.
Oh shoot, what is dash?
Should be one of the triggers, I think.
It's O.
This is O. I guess we call the other one X, so I guess that's fair. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys would be interested in this. I thought it was very fascinating. Since I work at the American Red Cross, I've been curious about whack it first. I've been curious about you know, just like different trivia about like the blood donation industry and stuff like that. Oh, shit.
Oh,
well,
wow, are you shitting me?
Well, just get in there.
Oh my god.
You picked it up though. You're fine. Oh my god, and it was 2 volatile blobs. Not even worth it. Not even worth the health that you spent getting it. That sucks.
Well, It'd be like that sometimes.
But anywho, do you know why the blood types are named the way they are?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin? I don't think it's called that because of the Muffin Man.
Blood
no.
type naming, does it have to do with, like, the protein or something?
Well, I'm
Isn't,
not
like,
talking about
blood...
the biology per se. I'm literally talking about, like, the naming convention of why they named them
like
the way that they did.
A, like, type A and, like...
Yes, type A,
yeah,
B,
I thought,
A,
like,
B,
that's
and
what I was
O.
trying to relate it to, if there was, like, a protein thing, and that's why it's named like that. But apparently no is the answer to that.
Well, kinda. And I guess I can get into that in a second. So... I believe they're called antigens. They're the reason, like, essentially think of them like locks and keys. So like an A, there's a reason why certain blood types can only accept donations from certain other blood types, because you need the right combination of locks and keys, or else your body will reject the blood and you'll get really sick. Which is usually bad, because if you need a blood transfusion, you're probably already fucked.
Which one's the universal donor? Is that O or AB?
It's O minus.
Oh.
Okay.
And O minus is also the rarest of the blood types. You can pull on that to get health if you want. So originally, when they were first doing hemology, which is the study of blood, they identified 4 blood types, and they called them A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, and D, and then like after like further research, they were like, actually, blood type C is just A and B together, and blood type D is just nothing. Like, it just doesn't have any locks and keys, which is, you know, kind of useful, kind of not. So they were like, okay, well, in that case, let's call them A, B, X, and O. Because the idea was that X was A and B crossed with each other, right? And then O meant none, as in, like, neither.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, now that's kind of confusing, because it's like, if it's just A and B put together, why don't we just call it AB? And they were like, you know what? Sure.
That's actually reasonable.
And I think that's pretty neat, because that was the thing. It was like during some downtime during one of our lessons, and I was like, why is it called O? Like, who in their right mind decided, like, this blood type's going to be called O? And so I looked it up, and it was very interesting.
Oh.
But anywho.
Oh, you're a universal blood type.
It's actually quite interesting, because O minus is the is the rarest blood type, like, in the world, right? Oh. Which just so happens to be, like, terrible, because it is the universal donor type, so that's kind of sad. But do you know what the most common blood type is?
A.
You would think it would be A, right? Because that's like the front. By the way, I'll remind you that there are positive and negative of every blood type.
Oh,
so like O negative is the rarest, and then you have like A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, so on and so forth. So if you had to guess, which one do you think is the most common?
B minus.
A
negative.
Positive.
Okay, you're just making arbitrary guesses, which is fair, but it's actually O positive, which I think is really interesting, because if I remember correctly, O positive is a universal recipient, whereas O negative is a universal donor. So O positive can receive all blood types, but can't really give to most of them. Whereas O negative can only receive O negative blood, but can give to everybody else.
Okay.
Ah.
I just find it interesting how, like, Asian countries, it was like a huge trend to, like, assign the personality types to blood types.
That is like because it's about compatibility, right?
Yeah, it's also just about, like, you know, categorizing, I think, people, because I think we like to categorize ourselves sometimes.
In a really interesting way, because that's a very common, like, Japanese anime trope, is, like, assigning personality types to blood types. Japanese individuals have a higher % chance on average of being O negative.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's both good and bad. But if there's a lot more O negative of them,
then I think it's actually good
easier.
because that just means that there's more O negative available, so all the O negative people can just donate to each other.
Yeah, but then if there's extra, then if they donate blood, it's technically better for everyone.
What's that? Wait, is that a thing below you?
What, lightning?
Yeah, no, go back down for a second.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
It's off.
Oh, he turned them off.
There you go.
Look at that rock. You see it? There's like a. Can you whack it? Jump slam?
Jump dive.
Or maybe pull
He
on
whacked it.
You see what I mean, though? There is like a weird particle there, right?
I mean, yeah, I think we can all see it. I don't know.
I see the particles.
Because don't you have that? By the way, you're about to die. I didn't realize. I'm sorry, but
thank you for telling me, my man.
Well, listen, man. Hey, the raw blade. That's a dex weapon.
God.
Look
damn.
at holy shit. Did you see its dex score? 0 strength, 16 dex.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Eesh. I thought it was like a big sword for strength users, but dang.
It is called the raw blade, which makes me very uncomfortable.
I mean, there's a lot of things in this game that makes me uncomfortable.
Like what? Name one
What
thing.
could possibly make you uncomfortable? This is how I imagine Zach talking.
The shape of my fist rocks. Where's my thumb?
Where is your thumb? How are you gonna open doors? By punching them, I guess.
I don't know.
That's the only way.
I want to feel.
I travel around by punching through everything that needs to be opened.
Ah, I see. You're also American.
Cabinets?
I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know if
That's
there's
the way I
anything
would.
that you guys want to particularly talk about because Lawrence is making his way downtown.
Walking fast.
Faces past,
And I'm
and
homebound.
the
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
but the thing is that I don't know if you guys were aware, but the Microsoft reveal show was just earlier today.
Oh, I did not catch up seeing that.
Earlier
Maybe I
today,
should.
man, it's new, and there's no way I would have seen that. So what happened there?
A lot, actually. It turns out that when you're a giant multinational corporation, that has enough money to just buy game studios like they're candy, it turns out you have a lot of announcements that are really exciting. So, despite my cynicism, I will say that it was possibly the best reveal show that we've had in a couple years because they actually revealed a lot of really interesting things.
What was it called again? I can't remember. Was it Microsoft?
I just said Microsoft, yes.
Yeah, I know. And I instantly forgot. Thank you.
Cool. By the way, Lawrence, just in case you forget, when you're in a new area like the nerve or nerve route like you are now, you should, if you
look for
the particles, like you remember those particles, like the pink ones.
You look for the map.
Yeah.
I will be watching
Because
this now.
there is a what'd you calls it, a surrogate in nerve root
somewhere. I mean,
I feel like, if I remember correctly, I feel like you just accidentally keep missing it.
I mean, I don't see any particles, so.
Well, the surrogate doesn't have the particles. The surrogate.
Oh, the surrogate. I'm confusing the particles with the.
Sorry, bonfire versus map.
Lawrence, should I translate what I'm seeing in these new video games? Okay, so this one's a first person, I think, vampire thing where you're shooting people and
or
they
I could
burn
just tell
in
you
sunlight.
since I watched the whole show.
I know,
I mean,
but I'm
Bubba's watching
experiencing it right now, okay?
Cool, okay.
They're showing me a bunch of different maps. There's blood everywhere, Lawrence.
So, okay, so wait, did you say space?
No, I said vampires, guys with guns, first person. Yeah, you're fighting vampires, I believe.
Oh, Vampire Survivors, got you.
Yeah, basically. It seems like there's different characters you play as, each with different strengths. So you can, like... The verified cryptid hunter, cool.
Hunting cryptids.
There seems to be objectives and stuff like that. Okay, I think that's semi enough of this. This is long, man. It's called.
Yes, it is. It would almost be useful if
Redfall.
somebody had, I don't know, spent the past hour comprising a highlight
I
reel
get it, but
that
we're
we could
doing
talk about.
what we're doing here. Zach, stop ruining our mojo.
I'm ruining your mojo.
Mojo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. A lot of
There's a
really
Hollow Knight thing?
interesting commentary was just made about Redfall. It's true. There was blood and vampires.
I mean, technically not wrong. And there was guns as well. A lot of guns.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you do your thing then.
There's a Hollow Knight thing, but I'm not... It's called Silk Song? Did they want to come out with something else? Do you recall, Lawrence, if like they were... I believe I even talked with this about Zach, actually. We had a whole Hollow Knight discussion. Well,
The Hollow Knight discussion was definitely not with me because I haven't played Hollow Knight, so...
So Silk Song, I think, is maybe the one thing people were waiting for. So I feel like that's probably pretty hype for Hollow Knight people.
To be honest, I thought Silk Song was released due to how many people were talking about it in the past.
I don't know. Once we finish with this, Zach will probably enlighten us. Rick and Morty.
Wait, what, excuse me?
I don't know what I'm looking at either, okay?
I mean, what is this, Rick and Morty game?
Rick and Morty type weapons?
In a Rick and Morty game, or...
I don't know. All I'm seeing is wacky guns, first person.
I'm just asking if it's Rick and Morty.
I saw Rick and Morty. Hold on. Like, they brought up Rick and Morty.
It'd be
was, like,
really
named
cool
for
if
1
somebody
second.
knew the answer and could like tell you instead of
Squanch
just, like,
games.
randomly talking. It'd be really cool.
Oh, I think it said from the creators of Rick and Morty. Like, goes 0.5 seconds and telling me. Come on. Vamos. Yeah, from the creator of Rick and Morty and Solar Opposite. That's what it was. I can believe that. Creators of Rick and Morty did this.
Oh, it's not Rick and Morty.
No, but it's from the creators of Rick and Morty, and it's probably just as weird. Yeah, and the game's called High on Life, so to be expected. And that was a new premiere. They're talking about League now.
Wait, so that Rick and Morty, was that like a shooter, or?
Yeah, it was a first-person shooter with very weird creature alien-like stuff happening.
Alright.
I know, my descriptions are great.
Definitely a good use of what we're doing here.
We have a lot of time, sir.
No. Why, instead of going over the entire 2.5-hour presentation twice,
there's only 1 hour and 35 minutes. The thing that I'm watching.
Cool.
But okay.
All right. Whatever. Fine. Just keep going. It's just like, oh, they're talking. There's kind of like a silk.
Okay, fine. What I'll do, because I have to talk to someone, Zach, you should recap correctly by your standards the first couple of stuff I talked about.
I'm just gonna shoot
make it
myself
twice
in the
as clear.
skull instead.
Come on, why don't you actually try
God.
cooperating with us instead of trying to think you're better than us, okay? Just do it.
Because that's exactly my response to this situation.
Oh my god, both of y'all communicate. Jesus Christ.
Why was there yellow stuff?
I don't know.
Do you have a, is that one of the hunt points that you have active right now? Is when you fail to absorb them, they leave.
Oh,
the
right,
yellow
when I
stuff
kill
behind?
them, when I just kill them no matter how, I get
Hey,
some...
look!
Oh, finally.
Fucking Jesus.
Finally.
Finally there. Good luck, sir. I believe in you.
Oh, I just wanna... All right, that works too.
He's still in armor.
Nope.
Just whack him. Oh no, you're gonna die.
Oh my god.
It's okay. You just need to warm up a little bit. You know, it's a Metroid. It's a Souls-like Metroidvania. You just need more time. So, as I said, I did spend like an hour making like a highlight reel in my notepad of like stuff from the Microsoft show.
Go.
Redfall is the one that Saba was talking about, the vampire looking one. It's kind of like Left 4 Dead. You have like did you ever play Left 4 Dead?
Of course.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say who hasn't? That's a classic.
It's true. It's also like free every other day. So like I don't know anybody who wouldn't own it.
And if it's not free, it's 2 cents.
It's like they will pay you 2 cents in order to pick up the game. But in Left 4 Dead, none of the individual characters had like special abilities per se. Like all of the characters more or less played exactly the same. In Redfall, you have named characters. I think it's like up to 5-player co-op, and there's 5 characters, and each one has like their own specific thing that they do. And yeah, I don't know. It's not really my speed. It's not really my bag, baby. But the over-under on it is that it looks cool. Like, if you're into the first-person shooting survival, it's not even really survival horror. It's like imagine Left 4 Dead, but the world is persistent. It's not like levels. It's like you do something in the world, and then the map changes.
That's pretty cool.
So, you know, it's pretty cool in that way. And it's a lot of, like, vampires and cultists, so it has, like, its own unique aesthetic, which is neat. Saba breezed right over Silk Song, but it's by far one of the most hype announcements at at the showcase, because Silk Song was initially announced 4 years ago, and then there has been little to no actual information on it, period, for 4 years. And that's why people have been talking about it so much, because people are like, listen, we know that Team Cherry is going to do a good job, but I think it's literally been 3 years since they had officially announced anything about the project. And while the trailer that was revealed during the show, you can heal. While the trailer that was revealed during the show didn't expressly give a date in which the game would be launched, they did specifically say at the top of the show that, hey, every single game that we show during the show today is going to be coming out within the next 12 months. So, assuming Silk Song doesn't get delayed again, it's going to be coming out within, you know, the first half of 2023, which is pretty cool.
So I was correct in that we talked about this, and I recall you saying something that it's like a big thing that people were waiting for.
Yes, it's enormously exciting, and it was weird. Well, it was weird from my perspective, because I definitely didn't expect it to be announced during the Microsoft show. Like, I thought it would. I don't know where it would have been announced or what. I just walked into the taser. Oh
my god!
Oh my god! Just dash. Just
you can't dash. You can't dash through it. Okay.
Just.
You're so... God, I want there to be one of those tall guys right next to the map.
Okay, I am back. Do you want to say any more? Because I'm back to watching the thing.
Yes,
or did we catch up? No. You can talk about the last thing that I saw, which was
two things that I was going to talk about.
High Off Life. I think
so High on Life is by Squanch Games. It's Justin Roiland's game development studio. If Saba was listening to the trailer with audio, it's literally just Rick and Morty voices, like voice actors, and it's very similar. The idea, I guess, behind it is that it's a first-person shooter, but it has like the Rick and Morty like non sequitur humor about it and whatnot. I guess like the over-under of the narrative, if you could say that it had a narrative, is that aliens use human bodies as weed for their bongs.
Oh my god.
And that's why
So,
it's
like,
called
it's the
High
vessel?
on Life. Sorry?
So it's like the human body is the vessel.
The human body is melted in acid, and then the resulting fumes get aliens high.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
So there's that. And that's, you know, that's like the over-under of it. I'm assuming you're not... I don't know. Oh, he found it!
Oh.
Oh, Lawrence, praise be.
And what was the only other thing that I missed? Or
So
that you missed?
Riot Games has officially partnered with Xbox Games Pass because Microsoft has so much money to just dump into Games Pass. And so now included with Games Pass forever is a you can pair your Microsoft Game Pass account with your Riot account, and you will get every champion, including ones that haven't been released yet, every character in Valorant, including ones that haven't been released yet, a bunch of cards, plus a bunch of like free shit every month in Legends of Runeterra, and a bunch of exclusive content for Teamfight Tactics. So pretty cool, I guess. For somebody like if you're somebody who hasn't played League but was like kind of interested in it, and you were already interested in Game Pass, that immediately makes Game Pass just financially worth it, because in order to... Oh, it's this guy, it's Goldhead.
He looks like a well-proportioned one. Almost.
Kinda.
All right,
Okay.
dude.
I wonder if that
pretend I
guy's-
understood all of that.
Oh,
And giver.
Uh-huh. No, he may just be saying-
Coda. You can't do that in music. The conductor will get mad. And everyone else.
wait, what is Coda?
In music?
Yeah.
Just
Isn't it like
the
a
end.
time?
But it's one of those things, like a coda doesn't usually appear in music.
Oh, that's when you've repeated, like...
Yeah, when you have to like
yeah.
repeat an entire segment.
And so
then,
they like tell you just in case, like you're sometimes, because you can repeat multiple times. They're like, no, this coda, like this section
Yeah.
is like the end, like you go to
yeah,
end.
like
Okay, that's
Pomp and Circumstance has a coda, because you do the da, 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 for several hours.
feels like
And then the
for 3
Coda
years.
tells you stop repeating this.
And then stop repeating this,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
head
go
over,
to
head over
end
to the
segment.
last segment.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have the context for this, and you won't for a while. That's incredibly interesting information.
Oh, okay.
You guys will be seeing it. I probably in today's session, based on how well. Actually, Lawrence is having trouble with Nerve Root, but that's extremely understandable. But I don't know. That'd be really cool if you got to it today. That'd be really interesting. But anywho, yeah.
Okay.
So Saba, I would like for you to do me a favor. I want you to experience the stuff, like for you personally, I want you to experience it first, but don't like do like 2 of them in a row and then I can talk about them. Because
Sure, I don't mind
it's
doing
not
that.
it, like that's literally what I was trying to get you to let me do earlier.
Oh,
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. It's okay. I am totally familiar with being, you know, kind of obstinate on stream, so I don't necessarily blame you for assuming that I was gonna try to shut you down. But it's more just like there's a lot of announcements. And so
okay,
going
yeah,
through the
that's
whole
fine.
list twice
I
would
just
be-
wanted to
Yay,
go kind of through it
communication.
quickly, and then, but yeah,
Thank
okay, that's
God.
fine.
You know what,
okay.
Saba? I say we kill Lawrence.
Oh god,
Do it.
mutiny! Take his
Do
controls
it.
away!
I got
Do
giant
it,
rock
he
fists.
says.
Fuck. I got giant rock fists and a little bit of impatience. I can bash your.
I can burst your face
skulls
in.
in.
Well, let's get back to it, boys. Okay.
Can you skip Forza though?
I will be like
Get
as
up,
fast
Forza.
as like Zach. I'll just like say what I see, and then like if you want to skip it, you'll just be like it's Forza. We don't need to talk about it. And
I'm
then
about to say
move
the
on.
next one is interesting. You'd like the next
I'm
one.
interested in this actually. So yeah, the next trailer was for A Plague's Tale Requiem. Lawrence, if you're familiar with A
Is that
Plague's
the
Tale.
third or the
have that.
second one?
I have that downloaded, but not
Available in 2022. They didn't really give a time.
I'm about to say, I think that's the third Plague's Tale, right? Because isn't it? Because
There's
is
three
Requiem the
Plague's
I
second
thought
one?
it was the second one. Did they come
I
out
thought it
with
was the second one also.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because
There
in
was
that,
a first
in that
one,
case,
and
they
then-
might. In that case, that reveal might be for it being on
and then there's
Xbox,
Forza.
whatever.
Fabulous. Getting a showcasing of Forza.
They have a
Cars
couple.
with
They have a
the...
couple things in the next one that you're gonna look at. The fucking Forza section of the reveal was like
very
10
long.
minutes long.
That's like that's
You
the
like
thing.
the
It's like,
cars.
what do you technically have to
that's the-
show off except for good graphics and like good graphics?
Well,
Cars,
that's the
bro.
thing is that they don't have anything to show off. But if you're a car person, like if you like cars and like Forza, that's the only part of the show that you give a shit about.
But that's the thing. Why not like do kind of what I said and then just say there's Forza and then be like, okay, now if you
Wait,
want a
look,
more
there's a
in-depth
thing on the ground
look,
again.
But then it's exactly what you're complaining. What do you say, Zach?
Go to the right. Isn't there? Sorry, to the left. To the left. Sorry.
Okay, the next
look,
thing-
It's pulling on rocks again.
Oh.
The next thing I'm
You gotta
looking at
figure out
is
what that
Lawrence is the plane game of Forza, basically.
Well,
There's
it's
just a lot of
Microsoft Flight
planes.
Simulator.
Game of Forza.
The plane version. Helicopter, flying vehicle.
Hey, do you
Oh,
still
it says
have?
it's Flight
Hey, can you?
Simulator? Oh,
do you
yeah,
still
Flight
have
Simulator.
the? Do you still have the axe?
Axe.
Yeah, it
don't
was
think
like
I
the
got an
first
axe.
weapon that you ever. I think it's
Oh,
that
the
one.
first one?
Yeah, the mall axe.
Why?
Oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
You have your big hammer. Swap to your skull hammer and just do the big overhead on where the rocks are coming up. See
Oh,
if
that's
that
that's
does
in
it.
Halo. Okay, the next thing was a
Alright.
Halo Infinite Flight Simulator kind of thing. I think you get like
That's
a type
still
of space.
Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I think they just gave a,
Yeah.
I guess an
Oh,
aircraft.
what
simulator.
the fuck?
All right.
Oh, is
well,
this-
guess what? Now you know what you can. Not that I expect you to do so, but now you know what to do when you see those.
Are they like talking about Overwatch 2?
Pull.
Oh.
There you go.
Didn't this
I
come
don't
out
know.
and like they
Well,
just didn't like
No,
talk
the beta.
about it?
The beta came out.
The beta.
Oh, wait,
okay.
oh, there has to be strength.
That's
Come on.
your thing. 10
10
strength,
Oof,
and you get your
alright.
carven greatsword. By the way, that weapon is awesome.
Well, okay then. I guess
agree.
this is just the Overwatch 2 trailer.
So, well,
Which-
because remember that Microsoft is
Oh, this is
currently in the
me.
process of buying Activision because Bobby Kotick ran it into the ground with his dick. So, so, and it's weird because the Overwatch 2 trailer, you'll see it in a second. They revealed a new character, and it's
Yes.
and it's strange
And
because
like
it's,
map stuff.
Yeah, well, we've already seen the map stuff that they talked about in this. Like they already showed it on social media, but it's just like I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not a really big Overwatch fan to begin with, but everything that I see about Overwatch 2 just screams to me that this is just a slightly larger update. Like it doesn't need to be Overwatch 2. It could have just been an update for Overwatch 1.
Is this the new character, the head of the...
The
Game
head of the
that-
Marauders or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name, but I mean, her design's like kind of cool. Like I'm like okay with it, but I don't know. It feels a little weird.
The thing I liked...
Played Overwatch in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with it in a long time. It's like the thing I liked about Overwatch characters is that normally like
Can you dash
they
through the
usually have good
electricity?
design. But anyway, okay. Did you want to talk
I'll
about
try it.
Plague's Tale, Zach, and like Overwatch thing then?
Unfortunate.
Because
So
Stuff in the middle was just forced.
Plague's Tale Requiem. The only real like thing to talk about with that trailer is just that you remember that thing that everybody was super hype about, or not super hype about, but that was interesting in the first game where it's like the rats load like water.
yeah, I saw something from like the rat's perspective. You could play as.
Well, that's something from the first game as well, but
Yeah.
it's a Plague's Tale. You know what I mean? It's essentially just the second chapter of the first game, so you know it's gonna be decent quality in and of itself.
Yeah, the story continues.
Like the story continues, but the thing that I guess is like particularly interesting from my perspective as like a technical thing is that like not only do the rats still flow like water in the section of which there are tons of rats, but now they actually like interact with physics objects, where previously like if you had a barrel that was full of stuff in a level and somehow the barrel got knocked over, it would just kind of get like obliterated by the rats for whatever reason. But now the rats will like go over it. They'll like adapt their shape. And when I say the rats, I mean like the collection of rats, which is, you know, interesting in its own right. It's pretty cool. Oh, Lawrence, you can do the thing. Yeah, this thing. You need it, just pull it. You were perfect. I literally was just like, oh yeah, you could turn off the electricity in the area. So now that barrier that was blocking that barrier that was blocking the map should hopefully be down.
Wait, how did I miss that? I don't understand. I don't understand this freaking fragging map. I don't know how I missed that. I came here 3 times. Now where did I even die? I guess I'll look in the map.
And then the I guess the only other thing, once again, I don't want to harp, but I will. Oh, sorry. Oh,
I don't even know where I freaking died. Whatever. I don't need my hard thing. Fuck. All right, my bad, wall. My bad.
Anyway, sorry. What was I saying? The
You don't want to harp on something, but
I don't necessarily want to harp on it too much, because like I feel like Overwatch 2 will become very similar to Legends Arceus in terms of me talking about it, where it's just like I'm just repeating the same complaints over and over. But like Overwatch 2 is gonna come out and it's gonna have all the same maps minus 3 from Overwatch 1, and then they're adding 3 new maps, so it's gonna have the exact same number of maps, except all of the old maps now have a version of the map that exists 12 hours later.
Interesting. Okay. And
that's like
I've seen some people who played the beta, and they said it does feel different to play, and that like, oh, now that they've gone to 2, they're like, oh, we wouldn't go back to 1. So it's interesting to hear.
I mean, sure. Like, why would you ever go back to a previous update? Kinda. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I don't necessarily want to harp on it. It's, once again, Overwatch clearly just isn't for me. I hope for people that really enjoy Overwatch, I hope that they get good value from it.
Yeah. Like, I just like the world building in it. So, like, it's not like I particularly played it. But,
Truing.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I passed my threshold of, like, caring about it just because it's been so long. And all the stuff in between.
Yeah.
Discarded device! Look at that shit.
What is that?
It's a gimmick-ass gimmick weapon. Hold down and have the device drill through prey.
True.
The drill that pieces the heavens.
Okay,
yeah, I don't know.
By the way, did you notice what that was made out of?
Might get it depending on who says it's good.
There's like new type play modes, right? Where it's like you're doing like a couple of new things in terms of the old game didn't have it. It's still similar in like, you know, team versus team, right? A type of objective.
That was at 5. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know how much they've like balanced. It's whatever. Yeah.
I don't know, because the first Overwatch, it's one of those things where, like most competitive games, I guess, if you don't play it for a while, the meta has changed completely, and you and the people, no, I'm good, are playing completely different games, and now you gotta figure something out.
Okay.
You did activate the map, right?
Next thing I saw was like, I think a turn-based strategy, but it was kind of like Civilization-y like, where you was like going through historical stuff. Surprisingly, the name of this game is someone who I know that's very close to me.
Ara?
Yeah, Ara.
Oh.
So yeah, Ara History Untold is what that's called. It didn't give like any gameplay look, Lawrence. It was just like this.
Just like a CG trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that
that
game
game,
more like a reveal. All right.
So that game is from technically the people who created the 4X genre. Like their Civilization, like the Civilization series, is clearly like the premier 4X like civilization builder city management game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is by it's not Paradox. I can't remember the name of the studio. Anyway, there was a studio that made a game very similar to Civ, and then that studio merged with the larger studio, and then they made Civ 1, which then springboarded the entire 4X genre.
Can you
and then
dash,
a bunch of those people.
No, I can't.
And then a bunch of those people from that original studio who were part of the Civ team splintered off a couple years ago to make their own studio, which is the studio that is making Ara History Untold. So as far as I know, because it was a world premiere just a couple hours ago or whatever, it is just Civilization.
Yeah, it appeared. It said like, yeah, it just said like the turn-based, I think, strategy thing. So yeah. But...
I think one of the rumors about it that I think would be really interesting would be that because it's always been kind of like a joke in Civilization that you can have medieval samurais walking around with modern day soldiers with like M16s. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of humorous in and of itself because it's like Lamau, that doesn't make any sense. It would be really interesting if Ara Histories Untold actually constructed like a history about your world. So it wasn't just like Lamau random. It was like, oh, and then we preserved the samurai tradition and yada yada, you know? I don't know. It's one of those things where Civ 7 is going to be coming out next year, so.
So, I don't know. This guy came out for like Bethesda. They talked about Redfall. Now I see Elder Scrolls Online.
When you say this guy, that's Phil Spencer, by the way.
Okay. Good to know.
The head of Microsoft Game Studios.
Fantastic.
This man right here.
This man right here. And now he's talking more like you're getting like the Elder Scrolls kind of thing.
Oh, the Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah, okay. High Isle.
Yeah, the new expansion came out.
Slava, I thought you were unintentionally blue-balling me. It was like, what? Yeah, they're just talking about Elder Scrolls to the person who, referring to me, who's an Elder Scrolls fan, was like, yeah, they're talking about Elder Scrolls. Anyways,
no, it's online.
Okay, ESO Online. That's
so Fallout 76 is what they're talking about now. They're showing off that.
They're still updating that? All right.
You'd be surprised how dedicated they are to beating a dead horse.
Yeah, if people are having fun
Fallout
with it,
76, The Pit. That's what that was called.
So DLC, okay.
Game Pass. They're not talking about Game Pass.
That's your order. Yeah.
Xbox Game Studio presents. Oh, look, Forza. Looks like a Hot Wheels.
Because it is. It very specifically is a Hot Wheels expansion.
Yeah.
Yo, that's actually kind of cool.
So there's Forza, which is the like photorealistic, hey, I want to drive a car game, and then they have Forza Horizon, which is that, but you take the dial for like arcadey video gaminess and you crank it exactly one dial up. Not too much, but just a little bit more. And that's why that one's getting the cool Hot Wheels expansion, which apparently has a very rudimentary track builder, apparently, which is interesting. Oh. You have like 6 elements that you can like link together, and you can only have 6 elements total, but neat, I guess. That's pretty cool.
Okay, next thing I'm seeing is a dodo bird pecking at a skeleton. There's bigger dinosaurs now.
It's bigger dinosaurs.
There's
She's not gonna
this
know the name
dino
of
with
the
a
actor.
headdress. There's a person riding the dinosaurs.
She didn't recognize the actor.
This is going by really fast.
Is this Mario Man Chris Pratt?
No, it's family.
What the fuck?
Oh, freaking!
Congratulations, Lawrence.
What is
What the fuck?
Chrysalis? Am I thinking about this correctly?
Hold on. Do it
Do I
again.
know actors? That's the question. Anywho, so this
It's
it was for
the
Ark.
guy from fuck, what's his name? Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Ah.
It's Ark 2
Bruce Willis.
is the trailer that she's looking at.
Oh.
Yeah, so Ark.
Where can I?
It's really funny because I have nothing for like the next 4 trailers.
Okay, so yeah, Ark.
Family
Bruce
Man
Willis and
Vin
Vin Diesel
Diesel.
remind me of each other. That's why.
Family.
Family Man Vin Diesel.
Ebb Software. I see a very emancipated guy who's connected.
He's in.
Did you say
Hacker voice is
emancipated? Or do you mean emaciated?
Emaciated makes more sense.
Emancipated is what Abraham Lincoln did for slavery.
There's my lack of vocab showing again.
No, but you were like you had the word. Like you knew the word, which is good.
I knew, but it was just yeah, whatever. Emaciated.
Oh, he's
This
dead.
is very gross stuff happening here.
So gross game.
For sure.
Right.
I mean, he was at the beginning. Apparently there was he pulled off his own umbilical cord. I'm like confused.
What the?
Yeah. It's
So
called
it's
Scorn.
Yes.
The game?
So it's a game whose art style is heavily inspired by H.R. Geiger.
It's like very muted colors.
It's all like grotesque body horror and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the. I mean, like Lawrence must know, but like it's the same guy who like inspired the design for like the xenomorph and stuff like that.
Guy. Oh shit. That dude's crazy.
Lawrence ambush.
Crazy.
Okay. Next thing I'm seeing is like.
God, you're gonna love that great sword when you finally get to use it.
You're fighting skeletons.
Oh yes, Lawrence. Yes.
There's a creature that follows you around that magical.
Creature made by Geiger, so you know it's gonna.
No,
be...
this is different now.
This is the next
Oh,
trailer.
Different game.
mind.
We're past it. Yeah. I have no idea how to explain this. It's just like fantasy-esque.
The game is called Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, and apparently it's like a conquistador pirate kind of Dark Souls-y combat sort of thing, but it's a brand new IP that no one's heard anything about.
It looks somewhat interesting. Like they've got interesting. Like it's not like the if you want to say like dark. It's not dark. Like the fantasy-esque thing comes in pretty hard, and there's like knights and like skeletons and a creature that helps you out.
Souls? That's what I heard.
It's not exactly
I hope it's Pirate
piratey.
Dark Souls. That would be incredible.
Based off of what I'm seeing, but it's definitely got cool environments.
Saba's gonna be seeing the next trailer, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, I know this."
Minecraft? I'm kidding.
She's correct. It is Minecraft.
Literally is. It just said from the creators of Minecraft, and I was like, Minecraft? No, it literally is just.
From the creators of Minecraft.
Exactly.
So it's called Minecraft Legends, and it's a pseudo open world like builder game, but not in the same way that Minecraft is. The idea is that you command legions of like mobs, like either regular animals or like monsters from Minecraft, and you use them to like siege different parts of the open world.
Okay.
And when you defeat them, can you dash through that? I mean, good idea. I don't think you can. Oh my god, you could.
Oh my god, this entire fucking time.
You didn't try that?
No, the lasers! I couldn't dash past the laser. Why would I dash past this?
Yeah, well, it's because it's not electricity.
Console launch exclusive.
Lawrence, you silly Billy. Spiky vines aren't electricity. They're totally different.
Couple of elements in this game, I swear to God, not that intuitive.
Okay, next thing I'm seeing, Lawrence, we were in a spaceship. We landed on a planet in a mech. It is brightly colored.
All right, sounds cool.
Where I see like a meadow. You're like sucking up stuff, taking resources, building things.
Like sucking up stuff. Oh, deep.
You can upgrade your mech. And it's like a little, you build like your own farm thing. And now you're exploring. There's a huge dino bone.
Okay, dinosaurs and mechs and spaceships.
There's a purple thing that's clearly mysterious and foreign, like always. This, and the game's called Lightyear Frontier.
So...
Next year.
For anybody who's familiar with it, it seems to be kind of similar-ish to Astroneer, where the difference is that in Astroneer, you were just a guy who would wander around and you would build machines that would do, like, the material processing for you and stuff like that. So, yeah, about to say, yeah, Lawrence, you're a fucking god.
Oh.
Oof. But yeah, I don't know. Lightyear Frontier seems kind of interesting. I like the idea of just piloting this big fuck you mech around while you like dig up resources and stuff. But it's kind of weird that it has like farming stuff as well. It's like, you know, I'm not super down on that, but I'm also, you know, I am passively curious.
Okay.
It looks pretty. Like the colors being like bright and vibrant is always nice.
Yeah.
So the next thing was Gunfire Reborn. There are a bunch of like, it's like a 4-player co-op, bunch of tiny, I don't know, I get into the discussion.
So
but,
I want to talk about Gunfire Reborn,
please,
because so it's just a it's a roguelike first-person shooter where as you go through the levels, you find like new guns and passive upgrades for your weapons and stuff like that. And the game is actually really good. I believe it was free for a period of time, but I think you have to pay for it now because it was like in beta. It's been on PC for a while.
Okay.
And the claim to fame, as a person who's like a huge fan of like the roguelike genre, its claim to fame is very much the fact that when you get a new, better weapon than the weapon that you have now, you can take your old weapon and fuse it into your new weapon. Not so that way you save everything, but you save enough stuff that it's like, okay, I don't feel bad about replacing my old weapon with this new one. But then there's also a value proposition, because if you choose to save your old weapon, it's entirely possible that later in one of the levels, you'll get an upgrade for your old weapon that turns it into a crazy late game weapon. So it's kind of interesting in that way. But the main reason I wanted to talk about this was that Gunfire Reborn had this really peculiar, I suppose, news cycle about it when it first got revealed a while back, which was a bunch of news sites were reporting on how Gunfire Reborn was like mining data from your computer and selling it to the Chinese government or whatever. And obviously, I had a response very similar to what Lawrence just had, where it's like, wow, that sounds awful, right? It turns out, like, after a long period of time where people were able to try to validate those claims, turns out it was just, like, a bunch of, like, anti-Chinese propaganda. And it was weird because I will admit, I definitely just assumed that those articles were correct because they were from a few publications that I've trusted in the past. And it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, oops, I feel bad about that. And I'm not exactly going to apologize per se to like in the sense of like buying the game, but like I do feel bad about buying into the propaganda of like anything from China is bad. So
well, be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Like that.
It's just one of those things where it's just like you hear about a lot of stuff where it's just like, you know, Genshin Impact collects user data and like this collects user data and stuff like that. And it makes you feel a little over wary about stuff. So
that's why I don't do the surveys. Because like they
that's why I don't do surveys. That's not exactly what I meant.
They explicitly say like, yeah, we need to collect XXX from you, and I'm just like, okay, no.
That's not what the surveys are. The surveys isn't asking information from you. It's asking.
No,
it's asking for feedback about the game.
What do you think about this character?
Lawrence, I know, but before that, when going in, they're like, we collect XXX from you, and then you go into the survey.
Right, but they're collecting XXX from you, which, by the way, stop calling it that. They collect that data from you just because you play the game. It's not illegal in the United States to collect user data just for somebody accessing your service.
But I do get why you would be worried about it. Not saying it was a wrong thing, but
if it's like okay, if it's like default
wrong.
to begin with, right? Then there's not much
checked.
you can do. But like if there's anything extra, right? I don't like.
Can you make that?
Better to say no to stuff. At least you can say no to.
Can you open your map? Above the surrogate to the left, like up and to the left of the surrogate. Did you explore that area?
Yep, it's a lightning field.
And you can't make it across? There's nothing to pull or anything like that?
Not really.
Because this is where you're supposed to be. Like
Actually,
you're supposed to make your way through Nerve Root.
Okay, are we on to the next game?
You can
now?
move on to the next one. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Gunfire Reborn. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good first-person roguelike shooter. It's like it's pretty passable in that way.
Okay, the next thing is a side-scrolling Lovecraftian almost
Definitely
game.
Lovecraftian, I agree.
Yeah. There's like a evil spirit-looking thing with this dude that you play as.
There you go. You can pull that.
Yeah, monsters, dead people. It's called The Last Case of Benedict Fox. Ooh.
Benedict Fox is the guy that made Undertale.
As dusk falls. I just see the
no idea
name
about
of
this game, by the way. I got nothing.
As the wind blows.
As the wind blows.
I don't know. I can't listen to it, but they were talking about something.
Is it? Tell me if it cuts to a trailer where it's like still images of people like cutting. Okay, that thing is boring as sin. It's a motion storyboard, is what they're officially coining the phrase as. It's effectively a visual novel with more images. That's it.
Yeah, I would probably.
Gosh.
I would probably agree with that. Like, I don't even know what the game is.
It's a visual novel.
Visual novel, yeah.
Yeah, it's apparently
like,
it was.
They
written...
have 3D stuff, which is like the car and things like that, but the people are just all 2D.
It was written by a team that has worked. You have to pull on that yellow when the yellow thing comes up. I think you have to pull on it to get the full effect. Oh my god! Look at that guy.
He's going nuts.
Anyway,
okay.
But yeah. Anyway.
Blade Thirst for Battle, 10 million players, Battle Royale. It's called Naraka? Nakara? This just went by so.
Naruto for a second.
No.
I think it's called Naraka Blade Point, isn't it?
Yeah, Naraka. Yeah, Blade Point. Like a Japanese-ish style. maybe Chinese. I don't know. Asian is mostly I could say.
It's a melee weapon focused battle royale. The only like ranged weapons that I'm aware of that exist because the game's already out. Yeah. It's on PC. The only ranged weapons that I'm aware of are a bow and arrow and crossbow, of which you have limited ammo, and it's very hard to find more.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's like combining Asian stuff or if it's just like Chinese. I see definitely more Chinese stuff in this, at least, I think. But whatever. Xbox Studio presents... Was it Pentiment? No, this reminds me of like Card Shark a little bit. Zach.
Oh, Pentiment. That's what that one was.
Yeah, it's like this
oh, I'm trapped.
Watercolor old-fashioned book, like what is it? Medieval book style.
Oh, okay.
This is kind of interesting. Did he just climb out of a coffin? What? A narrative adventure. This seems pretty interesting, guys. Proof. Fighting in a bar, punching people, burning down windmills.
Oh, I do have to go there.
Okay, Zach, anything about Pentiment?
No.
Nah?
Nope.
Does it look interesting to you?
No, not in the slightest.
No?
No.
Oh, man.
You said it kind of looks like Card Shark. That's pretty much it. Is that it has a kind of semi-similar art style to a much more interesting game.
Breaking news, missing kids.
That was revealed
Stupid
is,
mosquito. Oh, is this the thing, the little where you get shrunk and then you fight and stuff?
It's Lawrence's favorite video game.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Spider.
Grounded. The one where you're teeny tiny and giant spiders fucking devour your corpse.
I am also familiar with this, and you usually, as a team, go and I don't know, build up a base while trying to fight animals.
Kind of like a survival thing of Jiggy, ain't it?
Yeah. Okay, so if you're aware of that, I can fast forward. Apparently, the full stories.
It's the 1.0 release of Grounded. It's been in beta, early access for years, and they have finally finished the whole narrative of the game, which is
very
cool.
Nice. Okay, next thing I'm seeing are mechs, almost in a cell shaded. No, it's not.
Again, all right. I see they separated their mechs.
Correct, Lawrence.
There's this kid who's manipulating shadow stuff. Seems a little bit more magical, I guess.
Oh.
It's got runes over his body. He's traveling through shadows and fighting mechs.
Damn.
It's called Urban.
I don't even remember.
Shadow Legacy.
I don't even remember that trailer.
Shadow Legacy. Why does that sound familiar? Even though I
don't know. It's oh god.
Maybe because the name.
Zach, go maybe rewatch the trailer. So you also
Legacy.
I don't. If I don't remember the trailer, I have no reason. But anywho, I'm going to just take the next one because I think that it's more appropriate if I talk about this. They revealed the 5th and final starting character that's available in Diablo 4, which is the Necromancer.
Cool.
Kinda, I think. I don't know. Diablo. I'm a huge Diablo mark, as you know, and as with everything that I'm a huge mark about, I have a lot to say about things, and there have been stuff that was rumored for a long time by people who were former Activision Blizzard employees talking about Diablo 4, and the trailer today, they talked about some stuff, revealed a bunch of information that pretty much makes me assume that the rest of the leaks were true. Diablo 4 is open world now, so instead of going through, you still go through levels, but they're treated more like overworld dungeons. You can still have a party of people to, you know, explore with. Like you'll be you and your friends will be counted as the same encampment. You can have up to 4 people with you, so for an encampment of 5. But as you're traveling through the open world, you'll encounter like random roving bands of like bandits or monsters or what have you, and doing that will change the overworld in, you know, ways that you would expect, and yada yada. But the thing, I don't know, I guess the thing about, and like the open world, I'm a little cynical about it just because I'm cynical in general because I didn't like Diablo 3, but the open world thing seems to be a huge focus for their overall design. Pull. There you go. Yes. Now you have to wait for it to fall all the way down.
Oh, bump off.
You got your health, though. Never mind, you're dead. Oh my god, you're alive.
If that killed me,
Congratulations, you got another gimmick weapon.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so when you're wandering around when you and your encampment are wandering around the open world, it's entirely possible for other encampments to find you, like other real life players, and they'll just fuck you up because fuck you.
Yeah, man, I just saw someone being eaten out by a werewolf looking thing.
You have to watch your phrasing. But
got his chest cavity was burst open. Do you want me to be more like explicit with my thing?
I want you to be less explicit. That's actually the problem. But yeah, I don't know.
Scary people.
The Diablo 4 art style is a lot more grim and dark, which is a very big plus from what Diablo 3 was doing. It feels a lot more Diablo-ish in aesthetics, but the gameplay is still very much Diablo 3. And you'll recall that when I was talking about Diablo 2 and 3, because I played both of them back to back, I had said that was exactly what I wanted, where I wanted the aesthetics of Diablo 2, but a little bit of the gameplay of Diablo 3.
There's a lot for this.
Sir. Oh, shit. It did go all the way down.
Did you talk about Necromancer joining the...
That's what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Feaster's Lair. It's a motley pearl. By the way, that's how big motley pearls are.
Diablo, all hell breaks loose. Yikes, Scoob.
Yikes, Scoob. We gotta find who this Diablo mister is.
Yeah.
It's mine. My gift for Shidra. Could you imagine this fucko trying to make it all the way back up to Shidra from here?
He's trying, okay? I instantly recognize this. Isn't this Sea of Thieves?
This is Sea of Thieves. Yep.
Yes. Even without looking, I recognize the art style.
Let's go.
Customization.
I'm playing that.
I guess they added new features to the game.
I mean, it's season 7.
Yeah, you can
is what
name
that
your
trailer's
ship.
Talking about.
You can steal people's money.
It's a pirate game.
That's. I know. I'm trying to be funny.
Captain, look.
Okay.
God, that TikTok did wonders for the popularity of that game.
Okay, the next thing I'm looking at, there's someone who's arrived at a farm with a barn, and they're being sucked into a mirror that they found. Oh, it's like Alice in Wonderland.
Nope.
Cool.
Hey, Lawrence.
It's like a cube-ish Alice in Wonderland? No, that's not, because this monster
Lawrence,
looking
there are
dude is not
limited
cube-ish.
motley pearls in the game. You need
No,
them.
it is like pixely. Am I tripping?
Saba, it's oh my god, you fucking obliterated him.
Because the rocks or whatever don't look like it. I guess I got fooled by the environment, but when I look at the characters, it is clearly pixel-y. Man. This is just an interesting
your thing that you said, Saba, of it looks like Alice in Wonderland, but there's pixel art. That's exactly what it is. Stuff from the overworld is regular 3D model, and then stuff that's beyond the mirror is
okay. That's
pixelated.
Why I was am I tripping? Am I losing?
Are you tripping?
I have fallen down the rabbit hole.
Did you level up?
Yeah.
You did? Do you have enough crushables to get to that carven sword? Because if you do, that carven sword is fucking...
I think I'm already good for carven sword. 10
is
strength,
it 10?
yeah?
I thought it was 15.
Let me double check.
By the way, the game was called Ravenfolk. Ravenlock.
Oh
Ravenlock.
my god, he did it.
Never mind, I'm stupid. Ravenlock. That's what it's called, not folk.
Oh my god. Fucking...
Oh, slightly faster.
What's your heavy?
Just slightly. Give me... Ooh, okay.
Now jump,
That's a little scary,
heavy,
though.
jump heavy.
Hold on, I got... Alright, that's an overhead. Ooh, straight down.
Swords are always just so much more interesting.
Correct.
Swords also have longer range than a fucking fist. As cool as
Okay.
fists are.
You don't
Next
have the
trailer.
same stinger, unfortunately, but that's about it.
I'm in the
that's
middle of the
fine.
desert. A light has struck a pillar
Hey,
and
welcome
gone
back,
through designs on the
Ehud.
pillar. Someone fell out of a seed connected to... Are we a bug? Bug person? Oh my god.
In my head, I had the image of Saba just laying down in like a therapy chair or bed or whatever they call it.
Couch.
Describing dreams. Like, I see bugs and wait, are these the small ones?
I mean, okay, there's a lot of these like glass balls that you're carrying around, but once you put it in like a thing, it like transported you through. I don't even know how to describe what I was looking at. It seems like a puzzle game though. An environmental like puzzle thing.
Wait a second. Is Overwatch 2 gonna be free?
I think I saw it said free to play.
Alright, easy. I'm playing with my mates.
Okay, so this one's called Cocoon. I don't know, Zach, can you describe this game better than me?
No, because I didn't care.
You don't care?
No, not really.
Okay, I guess it's just like a puzzle thing where you can transport yourself into the orbs, into like new environments and stuff like that.
Okay, sounds like a rather simple puzzle game.
Do you think a punk haircut is considered more diverse on the Overwatch character diversity chart? By the way, that's a tooth.
Oh my god! I recognize it. I was like, oh, that's a smooth looking rock. Wait a second.
Oh god.
Oh,
Okay, this is
no.
by
Oh my god.
I always have to I can't remember how to pronounce it. Koei Tecmo game?
Okay.
CT game?
Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo. Okay, thank you. So yeah, pretty gross. I see bugs, locusts eating
Slow
people,
attack.
zombies. Maybe
There's zombies and bugs?
by Team Ninja?
There's no zombies. So that trailer was baffling to me because for the longest time I was like, oh, Neo 2 expansion. Because it's Team Ninja made Neo and Neo 2. And I was like, oh, okay,
and this
that
guy
makes a lot of sense.
kind of looks a little bit like Neo.
You're going to see that for whatever reason, it's not Neo. But it's
that's
Neo.
A bad looking dragon, not the nice kind. Yeah, it's called Wulong, Fallen Dynasty.
Wait, Neo?
I think this is more
Soul-like?
Chinese based than like Neo's.
It's Japanese.
More Japanese. Which one are you talking about? This one or the
Oh,
Neo?
the jump heavy is kind of ass in terms of damage. Look at this.
Can you jump? Well, I mean, that was pretty good damage.
Way better.
No, that definitely
Can
reminds me
you
of
can you
Chinese stuff.
jump heavy into an immediate swing?
Let me see.
Okay,
No,
Phil
there's a
Spencer is
delay.
talking about this game.
He's not talking about a game, actually.
He's talking about something. I don't know what it is,
So-
but we got into
Yeah. Hey, Lawrence, you want to jump through that?
Persona? RPG?
I don't know if I want to, but I guess I have to.
2D? No, it's not 2D.
No problem,
Oh.
right? That was no problem?
Is this an old Persona?
I don't trust it.
It's Persona
I don't
3.
trust it one bit.
Okay,
So,
there you go.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
would you like to see what happens when you actually step on one of the teeth?
yeah.
I kind of.
Oh my god!
It's really fast and deals a
Oh
lot
my
of damage.
Yeah, I definitely felt the damage.
Okay, so
I'm not
Persona
entirely
3?
sure if the context of what Saba's looking at is going to, you know, be understandable, I guess. So Persona 4 Golden came out on
yeah,
Steam,
there we go.
right?
Yeah.
And that was the first Persona game to come out on the PC, because Atlas doesn't understand what the 21st century means.
And now they also showed Persona 5 Royal. I'm assuming this is like maybe a bundle thing. Then?
No, it's not. It's three.
No?
It's the 3 individual games are now all coming to Xbox and PC, where previously they were all PlayStation exclusives. Well,
Okay,
Persona
yeah.
4. Well, Persona 4 Golden was already on Steam, but now it's, you know, whatever.
Yeah, so it's a Game Pass for Persona stuff.
Well, they're in game. They're in Game Pass.
Hello again, sir.
So Hideo Kojima didn't actually announce anything at this presser. He just announced that he's working on a project with Microsoft, very similar to what he did fucking 6 years ago or whatever, when he announced that he was working on a project with Sony, and that ended up being Death Stranding.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah, he just talked about, okay, coming to Xbox PC over the next 12 months is just a list of a ton of games.
And they're gonna have one more announcement, which I don't know. I guess maybe Lawrence would be excited for.
What could it possibly be?
Okay, they're recapping everything now. Cars, more cars. He's talking. I have no idea what he's saying. Okay, here it is.
So Lawrence, how do you feel about this moveset?
It's definitely faster than the fists.
Like, do you like it better than the fist?
Yeah.
Because
For now.
to be fair, it's entirely possible that it's been changed since I played. But when I played, people were talking about how the carven sword is, you know, a good bread and butter weapon until you get to the late game bullshit. I would certainly not begrudge you if you, when you were done with this, if you went back to the world pillar and upgraded this thing, so that way it actually dealt real damage.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
barely
I'll do
anything
that.
on this except talking about. No, never mind. Hold on, I may have just missed a bunch of stuff. Okay, they give a little bit,
Oh my god.
but it's all in
my
like
God.
primary color filtered over. But yeah, they talked about Starfield. That's
What are you talking about?
Starfield. No, it is Starfield.
It's Starfield, and you definitely need to keep watching that video.
No, yeah, they showed like a little intro thing. They brought up the name of it, and there may be more after. I just haven't gotten there.
About to say,
Okay,
they have
talking.
a
Okay.
6-minute gameplay trailer of what Starfield looks like.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely more on that. I don't know why they showed the weird filter color thing at the beginning, but okay.
I actually liked the weird filter color thing, because if you were actually, once again, not your fault for not being able to listen to it, but the filter color thing that you were talking about is them it's like a representation of what it would be like to actually chart out a star jump, because that's the Starfield is people are already calling it No Man's Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it
that's
seems pretty,
exactly what it is.
The environments look pretty decent.
Swing, Lord, swing!
Good God.
There's a lot of people you're shooting at.
Oh, I thought I could parry
Oh,
that.
there's an interesting hub of people. Okay, got it. It is indeed actually very long.
God.
Customization.
Who made Starfield?
Bethesda Game Studio.
Okay, just making sure, because there's a lot of Star games. I was like, Starfield the one by Bethesda?
Starfield was the one that they announced 2 years before Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Okay, it literally is. I think the rest of this is just Starfield.
Yes, that is the end of the presentation.
Okay.
You just like go through the gameplay that fast.
I was on like One's like 7.5 speed. I was trying to get through it.
Not even a flat 2.
Not just in case.
Starfield seems kind of interesting. Apparently, the way that the game is going to be structured is that there is a default map with planets on it that, like, the planets will have like key locations. Essentially, like the way that it was described, I guess, in the thing is that imagine how Skyrim functioned, where you had like the big map with like all the cities, and the cities were your primary location. You can't just wander around the surface of most planets. But when you go to land on a planet, it's like, okay, where do you want to land? Do you want to land here, here, or here? You pick the location, and then your ship automatically does a docking sequence, like a loading screen, kinda. But while you're out and about in the star system, you can look at stuff where it's like, oh, okay, instead of going to this major planet, I see that there's this weird planet over here that doesn't have much info. I'm just going to go there. And then you can walk around the surface of that planet.
That sounds pretty cool.
So, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at, where it's just like, it seems neat. You can pull on that for health, I think, if you want.
Yeah.
Did it regrow?
No, I died.
Oh.
So it respawned.
Lawrence died. Lawrence is better to video games.
Anywho, okay. That seemed to be pretty okay. I think I definitely probably the most hyped I would probably ever get over any like show would probably be Nintendo, just because I'm a Nintendo gal, I guess.
Which Nintendo is supposed to be having a direct this week, I think.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice.
Because I know
there's already like a bunch of games that's like come out that I'm like, I want to play them. I just don't got a Switch, and I don't know. I feel like maybe you will be right. We will be 80 by the time the next one comes out. Zach. The next console, and I just like, please, sir. I want the next one, please. Maybe let's like pray and they'll announce it in the upcoming one, Zach. Maybe all our worries will be washed away.
Opium.
Coping hardcore. But yeah, I know. All I know is I had the familiar with the Hollow Knight thing to a certain degree, and the new stuff is like interesting.
I mean, the Hollow Knight trailer, for anybody who's a fan of Hollow Knight, such as myself, that trailer is fucking hype. It's really cool. Oh, Lawrence, you found this place.
He says this as if we understand and know what it means.
Boy.
Be careful, Lawrence.
Bro, my bad, man. I needed.
Clearly, you should have knocked, Lawrence. Okay.
Oh man, he fast. But he big.
Big.
Big. Oh my god.
I'm actually thinking about it, because like obviously I would highly recommend you fight that fight, because it is a very interesting fight. But I don't think you would actually give a shit about the reward that you get.
Is it fine to just say? Will it like
help
him decide whether or not to do?
I believe it's a balanced weapon.
Well, as much as I want to fight that, I mean, I'll do it next time. It's just that I'm not
right
exactly
now. You're about to
healthy.
die.
Yeah.
And also, look at the background. Look at all the teeth.
Yeah, wonderful.
Bro.
So...
Oh my god, you sharpshooting bastard. I guess I'm finding that thing down there. Starfield sounds exciting to me. Because I've been not been waiting for it, but rather intrigued by it for a while. Like, what the heck is Bethesda gonna do with that? That's a new...
With Starfield?
Yeah, that's a new thing. That ain't Fallout, that ain't Elder Scrolls, so...
It is, that's true.
Let's see what they got.
Based on the combat, it seems like it's a little bit more Fallout, but that's fine. It's guns and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's okay. That, you know, there are certainly worse things that you could do instead of, or there are worse things to do than to do the Fallout combat system again. So that's fine.
This one.
Yeah, this one. I found it. Wow, what happened to the frame rate, dude?
I don't know. Oh my god, what are your attack animations, bro? Stop skipping them. There you go.
Oh, Lawrence is going for it.
Oh. Oh. I'm stuck, bro. Help.
He's so fast! You can... Oh. Oh. Oh, he's beginning to believe.
Nope. He went for the red.
Hey.
And I'm guessing for you, Zach, the game you're excited for is the Hollow Knight.
Oh, of the ones announced, absolutely, it's Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's an instant buy. I don't care if it's $80 on release. It's like I'm gonna play that shit. It's gonna be awesome. The rumor has it that the reason why it's been in development so long is that they're just making all the DLC right now, because you'll recall that all of the DLC expansions for Hollow Knight were free. So people are theorizing, wouldn't it be fucking ridiculous if...
Wouldn't it be nice?
That's not what I said. Wouldn't it be ridiculous if all of the Silk Song expansions just were in the base game, and it's like, oh, here's a $20 game that you can play for literally 200 hours. Have fun.
Oh my.
And I would. I'd be like, fucking awesome. Nice.
Oh, he was faster.
And then, now counter.
Oh, I have no stamina. Oh,
you'll get it. Lawrence is a gamer. Lawrence got it.
Lawrence, you gamer?
Know the pattern.
Lawrence is. I've been warned that Lawrence is a gamer. Him and his gamer words that he uses all the time.
Yeah, like nerds.
Okay. Well, the thing, at least that showcase took up a good chunk of time, which was interesting.
There was some stuff in there that was cool.
I'm like 90% sure for Nintendo we're probably gonna. Actually, no.
I actually double checked. There is no confirmation of a Nintendo Direct.
Oh, bummer. Okay, I mean, we already got like some of the most exciting news being like
and EA tomorrow, apparently.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't give a shit about EA's press conference, but Capcom would be exciting. I believe they're gonna give more info on Monster Hunter Sunbreak, which is cool.
You know,
the new expansion for Rise.
Think I was happy, even though I'm not as like interested. I'm happy for probably the people who were hyped about the One Piece like game.
Bro.
Is that a Capcom thing? That's not a Capcom thing, is it?
No, like we saw the trailer.
Bro, get out of here! This isn't your zone.
It's like a full RPG, like full storyline game.
Oh, Lawrence, wouldn't it be funny if you drew like a bunch of those teeth guy into this arena?
Let them fight for it.
But yeah, sorry, Saba.
So I'm glad for them. They'll probably enjoy that.
I believe that leaks have talked about tomorrow during their presser. They're going to talk about Exoprimal, that one where like the dinosaurs are pouring out of the black hole.
Oh, that crazy one we talked about before that you told me about. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get more info as to like what that game actually is. So that'll be cool. I don't know. It's really silly because it's just like Resident Evil is obviously hype as hell. They announced Resident Evil 4 remake, so that's, you know, that's going to be great in and of itself. It can't not be great. It's Resident Evil 4. But like the thing that I really want from Capcom the most, that's not Monster Hunter, because I do love Monster Hunter despite having not played it in like a couple years. The number one thing Laura, he did it!
Okay.
Nice job, Lawrence. Wonderful gaming.
And my reward is...
I guess it was just
Pat
the
on the
prey.
back,
I
it
guess it
looks
was just
like.
the prey hunt.
Alright.
Oh! Never mind. I remember. Wow, that's fucked. Never mind.
Yay, intrinsic rewards.
Well, no, but well, it's fine. Let's say you have completed 1 out of 3.
Alright.
You just need to feel good about it. Yeah, that's the reward.
Thank you, Grant.
It works in some games, not all the time. This game, not really. Oh my god.
And he's all armor.
Alright.
Oh, Lawrence, I'm so
Okay, what else can we chat
Alright.
about, fellas? Oh, I saw. What were you thinking about for the Cuphead thing, Zach?
Oh, so it's coming out next month. I think it's like July 20th or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll play it, maybe we won't. I think we'll probably wait on it for a little bit because I assume just like with when the original game came out, they're gonna have to do a pretty decent number of bug fixes. So my plan is that because apparently the DLC is only gonna be like $8 or $12 or whatever, and I'm like, okay, sure, no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead.
Oh.
God. Man, I know exactly. Like, if I ever had to fight Lawrence in real life, I know exactly how to defeat him. To lightly lob a ball in the air, because Lawrence will be like, "Ooh!" Just get. Lawrence just ragdolls on the ground like he's from Pal World.
No, not Power.
But anyway, so I think what we'll do is that we'll end up doing. We're obviously gonna do Grime. Then we're gonna do the Outer Wilds DLC. And then we'll do the Cuphead DLC with you two playing, assuming that nothing else comes up in the meantime. And then after that, we'll do Eastward with Saba on controls.
Okay.
So that's my plan.
This ain't
This
your
ain't
zone,
plan.
folks. Get out of here.
Lawrence
Good
is
God.
he's so done with these fucking teeth, dude.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. They have so many annoying enemy types.
It's not wrong.
I think that laughter means, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, if I may say, it is pretty bad in these particular 2 zones. Nerve root directly into Moellerberg or whatever the fuck this is called. It's pretty bad. It's not stupendously great.
I know another like kind of gaming thing that a lot of people are doing right now is the Quarry. So that should be fun watching someone play that.
Yeah, sure.
If you were into
That makes sense.
Until Dawn. It Takes Two is 50% off.
I did see
Wait,
that. I have no
what
interest.
did you say about Until Dawn?
What?
What did you say about Until Dawn?
The Quarry is the spiritual successor of Until Dawn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Might be interesting.
So by the same company. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people are playing it. I'm just looking
Yeah,
for.
fucking
I
beef.
feel like
Beef.
Zach, definitely a lot of stuff I'd probably be into is like these little like nice casual farming games seem like really cute.
Sure.
That's like
Have a ball.
my speed.
The wholesome
slow
direct was
speed.
yesterday as well. It's a Twitter account called Wholesome Games that I want to say like 3
Oh,
years ago
yeah.
decided
I saw
to
a video.
aggregate a bunch of like independent games that like the base criteria is that it needs to be non-violent in order to be even classified
What the
as wholesome.
fuck?
Well, you don't like that guy?
Well, okay. There's like a little bit of that. Like I played like Rune Factory, which has like I
Not
guess
indie.
weaponry and stuff like that. So I guess it wouldn't fall into that category.
Well, it depends. They sometimes make leniencies and whatnot, but the primary over under is that I want to say the Wholesome Direct had, I think it was 40 games were announced. And they're all like indie stuff. Definitely not necessarily my speed. It's too much cutesy like non-gameplay. But some of it was pretty okay.
I'll take a look at this. Some of it I've already like seen because apparently I watched a video of like cozy games that are like going to come out soon. But that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know about that. I definitely probably want to take a look at that and quickly like, because some of them aren't out. Like some of them I don't even like see. So I know some of them are still being worked on.
Right.
But it's just the annoying thing of like I have nothing to like follow to remind me that this game exists besides like going back to the video to look at it again.
Good job, Lawrence.
Nice job, Lawrence. So okay, that's good to know. Mother Direct. Oh, that's an Earthbound fan project. Cool. Yeah, so I'll take a look at that.
A lot of game announcements, and I don't know because I know we had a big long conversation on Friday about how reveal seasons need to be fixed, like they need to be better. But I do like it when all of this stuff gets announced at the same time or around the same time, because then it's like, okay,
it helps inflate how much there is. Yeah.
Well, not even necessarily like, yes, true, but I guess I mean more along the lines of it means that I don't have to be constantly aware of like, oh, there's a thing coming out here and here and here and here. It's more okay, there are reveals. I can go to r/games every day, and there's like a bunch of new trailers to check out.
Yeah. So it's not spread out so much. You have to constantly like keep up with it. It's just like, oh, this is the week of reveals. And...
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a good visual showing you exactly how that guy disappears into the ground.
Yeah.
Ouch. Oh, the teeth are gross.
I don't know if this is jumpable.
I don't even, it's the bottom teeth. Also.
Yeah.
The top teeth are whatever.
Yeah.
I do like how they're rodent teeth. You know
By
what I mean?
the way, Lawrence, so the Ni no Kuni game, the MMO, it's pretty okay.
Oh, I forgot about that game.
Yeah, I know, you told me to remind you, and here I am talking about it.
Alright.
So I luckily the crypto part, or not the crypto, the NFT part, I think I'm not engaging with it. So I don't think you're forced to engage with it. I don't even know how it works to begin with. So luckily I don't think I'm engaging with it. But like besides that, like it's pretty okay.
Okay, I jumped really. I figured you want to engage in it. Or
yeah, I don't even know how I would even. But like I think it's a pretty decent. Like I haven't played MMO, so I don't know. Like me telling you this means anything. But I feel like I've enjoyed it so far.
So you have played it?
Yeah, I am playing it. Yeah.
All right.
I downloaded it from like when it launched.
Well, tell me more about it. What is it about?
So basically, like the premise is that in the modern world, there's like a company that they're like, oh, there's a game world, we're gonna like send you there. It's called like Soul Drive.
Isekai.
So I'm about to say, so it's sort of online.
Kind of, yeah, but then it's like as soon as you like enter in, like some weird stuff happens and it like glitches and like you're in like a burning kingdom and like it goes on from there. I don't know how much you want me to tell you about what's happening, but let me know if you want more. So yeah.
How's the gameplay feel? Alright.
Once again, I'm not an MMO person, so I don't like, what are you asking me specifically? Like it's a lot of it's auto, right? You can take it off of auto. It's technically you can play it on PC if you link your email, I believe, to it. I think it's pretty okay. I think the only thing like I'm doing that I'm a little annoyed at right now is that you can one of the drop items I want from like the monsters I'm fighting for over probably 30 minutes have not given it to me.
Oh shit.
Which is a little bit annoying, but they're not like they're not vital essentially to the game, but there's like an event going on where it asks you to like do something which require like these ingredients, and it's just like very hard for me to get. But But I think I like it. I think the environments are pretty cute, and it like once again it's just Ni no Kuni, so like I'm really much enjoying it. It's fantasy-ish, but there's like a little plot going on.
But it is satisfying to play. What the fuck?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. There is like a lot of stuff, of an abundance amount of stuff. The way they've systemed out, like, oh, not only do you have like weapons, you have like things you can attach to weapons, and then you have. But I think it compensates, like, oh, like if you want to awaken a weapon using like if you get a
Lawrence,
duplicate.
are you okay?
What's happening?
Oh, he's fine.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I have no idea.
But if you want to like awaken the thing using like a duplicate weapon, if you fail, they'll actually give you a compensation reward, which can still like help you increase your thing. The only kind of it's not negative, but it's like you'll probably run out of space really quickly in your like bag, because actually like it's beneficial for you to keep and continue upgrade like almost all parts of like a weapon, because
so it does take a bit of inventory.
It does, but it's like they also have a thing where if you follow like a class to like level, or like the class like to 20, which is not that difficult, it'll automatically give you 20 per character. So it's like it is one of those things that, like, maybe you should follow, like choose the class that you probably want to do the most, because it'll give you like this starting event thing, which will probably take you up to level 40. But then after that, like, you can switch between classes and probably bring them up to level 20 each, and that'll give you more like pack
Lawrence, can I ask you a question?
What kind of classes is there? Oh, I mean, sure.
Why not heal? You're in a zone where shit hits you so hard so often, and I really don't want to see you die.
So the class is swordsman, which is like, you know, the melee close range. You have witch, who's like mid range. You have rogue, which is like a young boy who's like very mischievous with a bow and arrow. You have...
So you have multiple characters?
So basically, there's like... These are set characters that you can kind of customize, but they each like are like their own thing. So like the swordsman's like a dude, right? And then the witch is a girl. And then the rogue is like a young boy. And then the shooter is a young girl. She's kind of crazy. Like her little intro animation, she's like having fun shooting stuff. It's pretty fun. And so she's like the ranged support who heals a lot. And then you got the big guy with like the hammer. I don't remember what his class is called, but he's pretty fun to look at. I could actually probably tell you what they're called. What
weapon do they use? You say gun.
What do you mean in terms of like what
kind of... My question on what ranged weapon they use?
So it is either like bow and arrow or like the gun girl. Which...
So she does have a gun.
She does have a gun and like tanks and like, yeah.
A tanky, alright.
She's called Engineer. Okay, so she's called Engineer. And then the big guy with a hammer, I'll tell you in a second. I have to wait for this animation to finish.
What animation?
There's like a little intro animation that like shows off like the character. He's called Destroyer. He's...
Right.
So Destroyer, Engineer, Rogue, Witch, and Swordsman.
Yeah, I mean, this person does look like a destroyer.
True.
Have fun, Lawrence.
So yeah. But there's already, you know, Lawrence, a bunch of like videos being like, best way to do this and that and this and that. So.
I don't know what your plan was there.
You instant died. Okay, nice.
Well, I mean, he did throw a contact grenade at his feet.
It's okay, Lawrence. That one didn't count. So yeah, any other questions, Lawrence?
I guess the volatile blob is more like a mine, less like a grenade, more like a mine, right?
Understood. Ah, that's the thing I can't fucking... No map. Do I have any other questions?
I said no map.
Shit. So it sounds like this is a type of game, where, like, similar to JRPGs, where you control a group of people. Is that right?
No, you're a specific class at any time.
Oh, so you can choose which class you are?
Yeah, you could choose which class.
Describe them as like little boys or little girls.
Well, the thing is, it's like you choose a class and you can customize them a little bit, but people are like, oh, so I can customize them however I want. And I'm like, no, there's like the group classes, like they're like a band of characters that you can kind of customize a little bit, but they will always be this character.
Choose a specific character to play a specific class.
Yeah, kind of. Or like the class you choose is a defined character that you can kind of.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I know there were some people that were like a little bit confused about like, oh, so you're able to customize it, and you're like, no, like it's a specific character, so you can't like change everything, but you can change some stuff.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Understood.
Ouchie.
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here.
So mad at you.
I'm mad at them.
All of them go.
Oh boy.
Say hello to Vulture.
Ah. Alright. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Just gotta learn the gimmicks. No. Right.
How do you avoid that? By just ducking?
I gotta dash towards him.
Okay.
So that there's
Lawrence is figuring it out.
True. Okay, we wrapping up the showcasing of
we wrapped that up a while ago.
The Ni no Kuni thing.
I would say, Lawrence, once again, this boss is pretty difficult, and I would comfortably say that the rest of this game, like, I think that this, both physically and metaphorically, might be the lowest point in the game, because you're literally at the lowest point on the map. But after this, the encounters get a lot better. But I will say that when I fought the Vulture, there was a bug where there's a certain phase of his boss fight in which you used to be able to damage him and you no longer can. It was like an animation that he would do where previously, while he was doing the animation, you could just wail on him and you would take out like an extra third of his health, and it was really useful. Now I believe you can't do that no more.
Damn. It'd be like that. But that's fine.
Have you found any other nerve passes for a while, by the way?
I don't know.
About to say, because this would be, like I said before, this would be the type of circumstance that'd be really good to like upgrade your weapon. So that way, like, instead of taking off 1/20th of his health, you're taking off like 1/18th, But I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't. I haven't found any nerve passes.
He's got it. He's a gamer.
Gamer.
Dun.
But yeah, like I said, Lawrence, any last questions before, I don't know, we eventually move on to another topic to talk about?
How's the music?
I like it. It has music from the older Ni no Kuni games, but I also really, yeah, you've never heard of it. I'm just telling you, at least I'm aware. It's like, it's from nice. Like older stuff, but okay. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Jesse? Welcome
Jesse.
To this game is starting to piss me off. At 1:54, let's go.
We still have 2 hours left.
How you doing, Jess?
Hey, what happened if you just pull that? Can you? Oh, I guess you can't.
Yeah.
So is Grime like a Metroidvania?
It is.
Okay.
Why did he start
It's actually my second favorite Metroidvania.
Interesting.
Aesthetically, it's incredibly strong, and I really enjoy the gameplay. Lawrence is having a little bit of trouble, not because of anything in particular, but just because, you know,
the enemy types are... They're not hard, they're annoying. Like, I'm trying to just skip past them, but they just decide, I'm gonna follow you.
I'm gonna follow you through zones that I'm not supposed to follow you through.
Yeah.
Nice. Good catch at the last second.
And enemies that can shoot projectiles, it's not, I'm gonna shoot where you are right now, I'm gonna shoot where you're gonna be.
Yes! My favorite kind. Good job, Lawrence. See, look, you're already figuring out this guy's patterns.
Let me in.
It'll be easy. You know, you'll be fine.
Ooh.
Yeah, not.
Never mind, I'm gonna stop.
Catch that.
Oh.
Lawrence is a gamer.
I was surprised there wasn't a teeth monster here.
I mean, that dude has teeth, so, I mean...
Doesn't he have more of, like, a beak than, like, teeth?
Yeah, but he's got, like...
I believe if you look at him, I believe it's actually an upside-down jawbone.
Ooh, okay, I'll try to take a closer look.
When we get the opportunity to, just try to just see if you can see that. But I believe his, like, the thing that you're recognizing as a beak is, like, a pointed jawbone. But, yeah. All right, well... So Jesse, you just caught us at the...
Yeah.
You caught us after we just spent like an hour and a half talking about the Microsoft reveal showcase. So I don't know if there's anything that you particularly wanted to talk about, but...
I did not watch that.
He finally revealed Starfield. Bethesda those
They revealed Starfield. They showed gameplay, which is good. They soft confirmed that Silksong is coming out within the next 12 months, but they didn't give an actual fucking release date.
Wait, did they even show gameplay of that?
Oh, they showed a ton of gameplay.
Okay, good.
But the thing is that the gameplay that they showed isn't new in the sense that it's exactly what we've known the gameplay was going to be for a while, but we just see a bunch of bosses and enemy types, and I'm like, cool, awesome, that's exactly what I want.
It's gonna be a race to see which one comes out first between Cuphead DLC or that.
Cuphead DLC is coming out next month, so.
All right, yeah, I forgot that.
I was about to say it's coming out July 20th or whatever.
Zach, let me in.
Oh right, sorry, you can't see.
Here, I'll pause.
I forgot that we're not streaming. All right. Zach, let me in.
Let me in. Let me in.
All right, there you go.
Very cool.
Oh no, I gotta get close.
So what's the movement tech like in this game?
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly this is a strength build, so not much tacking that I can do.
It's gonna
hit hard.
Yeah, just hit hard. Oh shit, I wasn't.
Yeah, there's the thing, Lawrence, behind you that I was. It's fine.
That was me. I wasn't paying attention.
Bloodstain, Zach.
Sorry.
What's your opinion on Bloodstain?
Ritual of the Night.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think the gameplay was really good. I trust Iga when it comes to Castlevanias, obviously, but I didn't like their 2D 3D style that they were doing. Like, I also hated it for Half Genie Hero as well. Shantae Half Genie Hero. I don't like it when it's 3D models, but you're using them in a primarily 2D space. Like, because the game that we're playing right now, this is a 2D side scroller with, you know, whatever's in it, but like, I don't know, I would have to point out specific things in screenshots from Bloodstain where it's just like, I'm not super into this. But that being said, I like the character designs, I like the enemy designs, I like the fact that the map was just chock full of secrets, which was really cool. Funny enough, I do actually legitimately believe that the NES Castlevania thing that they did,
the two games,
the Curse of the Moon 1 and 2, I actually do believe that those are better games than Ritual of the Night. So
that's what I've heard.
They're really good. Did you see the crazy shit you can do in Curse of the Moon 2?
I have not.
One of the characters is a returning character from the first game, and he's like this samurai dude, and he has this counter where, depending on how perfectly you hit the counter on a frame by frame basis, you will deal a percentage of your opponent's health, which means that if you hit it within a 1 frame advantage on your opponent or on your anything, you will instantly cut them in half. And every single enemy in the game, including all bosses, have special sprites for when you cut them in half.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a boss that you fight, which is a possessed train at one point, where it's like a ghost that possesses a train, and you fucking slice the entire train from tip to tail. It's awesome.
Man, and they did that with NES graphics.
Well, you know. You know how it be. But yeah, so that's what I like. You know, obviously my number 1 Metroidvania is Hollow Knight. That's not really a competition. And then I think that this is my second favorite, just because the early game can be a little bit rough because everything does kind of blend together. But I think the aesthetics and overall presentation of this game are super freaking cool. And you asked how is like the movement options on some of this stuff. Lawrence has unfortunately fallen into a period of the game where there's not a lot of upgrades that you get. But he will eventually get to the point where the game is going to start throwing too many upgrades at him, and I'm afraid that Lawrence is going to start complaining about, like, how are there so many buttons on this controller? But
Very cool.
We'll see how it goes. But I would say if I have like a primary criticism about the design of Grime, it would be mostly that, look at this guy. It would be that the vast majority of the interesting weapons, like weapons that actually do cool shit, are right before the final boss. Which I think is kind of lame, and I think it's to encourage you to do a new game plus now with your cool, awesome new weapon, but, you know, not super my bag.
It'd be like that for
everything's super gray though.
Yeah, that has been mentioned a lot.
And then, to be fair, yes, because the entire game is made out of rocks and flesh. So
not the most interesting like color scheme, but it fits the aesthetic, I suppose.
Once again, I can't necessarily say anything to that statement, unfortunately, because I really want Lawrence to experience the game, but I don't know. It does some stuff later on that's really cool, so we'll see. But anyway, but yeah, and then Lawrence is like going for a primary strength build. So
the Unga
Bunga, I'm gonna hit you really hard build. So Lawrence, when he actually swings at stuff, kills them pretty quickly. But then that also means that he has like 3 seconds to learn what an enemy's pattern is, and that's hard to do. So I don't begrudge Lawrence for having, you know, trouble dealing with some of these enemies, because they're tough. They're tough even when you're using a fast build, you know.
I am speed build.
Speed. I only have to hit you once, Dex nerd.
Dex nerd. Good job, Lawrence.
I just want a bonfire, dog, so I can kill the vulture easier. Not you.
The game is like, oh, you want a bonfire? How about another enemy?
Does it work?
Does it work?
Does it keep it open? It does keep it open.
All these teeth.
You gotta run out though. Yeah, it's gross.
It's a tar bile tooth.
Kill it.
A lot
At least this enemy is interesting to kill.
Whack him a little bit, dodge him a little bit. You know.
Manage my stamina. Oh, that's a long range.
Man, you take a lot of damage from hits.
I do.
To be careful, it's not the long range one.
Actually, glass cannon build.
Strength glass cannon, let's go.
Oh, come on, bro.
At least you didn't take damage. You just countered it.
So.
Can you build a tanky build
I don't think so.
where you just don't die?
I mean, you could.
You
upgrade
don't
your
do
health, I
any
guess.
Can you
damage,
keep
but
whacking
you
that
won't
wall?
die.
Nah.
I guess not. Okay. I thought there was something behind there, but maybe not. Hey, there's like a little divot in the ground over here. To your right. It was on the floor below you.
You're talking about this area?
The divot to your right.
You're talking about this.
More area!
All the teeth.
Lawrence is like, oh!
You can't even see where he is.
I will break you, Lawrence. I will make you suffer like I have suffered.
Wow.
You wait.
guys can
You
have
definitely want to
mine.
go down there. No, stop. Go to this is what I was trying to get you to go to the left. I know that you don't like it when I do this sort of thing, but you want to whack that.
Better show me a bond. Oh my god. Bonfire. I don't know if I like this.
That's a guy.
You should not be here, nor should I.
Maybe we'll see. Eye to eye. Oh. I mean, let's hear more of your riddles.
You have yours and I have mine, yet someday may find combined.
But I'm a guest soon returning to my nest. Yeah, this dude is dropping fire.
Dude, you literally have no health. Your health is gone.
That's Dex and
Resonance, which is
fucking
their
faith.
equivalent of magic. So this guy has, you know how you have Heod, the guy that you've bought from before. This guy is Heod, but he sells stuff from later in the game.
oh, it feels like later in the game. This shit's expensive.
That scythe,
The hunt point,
right? You
7K.
can just straight up buy hunt points from this guy. That scythe, obviously super
nasty.
15-15.
Yeah. But it scales better with strength, I guess. But that's still high level.
And then those
All
are
bars in a bar. Okay.
so if you were having
you just sell
trouble
stunts,
against a
okay.
boss, you can buy up to 2 from this guy, but then when you die, so like if you were to go fight the vulture and you had those 2 breath crystals and use them, he would have 2 more that you could buy from. So it's just another way of being like, hey, here's some help. Hey, what's this?
I don't like how it's quiet.
Yeah, the music or stuff.
The music stopped.
Bro,
You
I
like
think you
walk
should
a
be
little
concerned.
bit. You walk a little bit forward, and a secret boss shows up. Like,
bro, the fucking you could breathe on me and I'm gonna die. Don't do this. This feels like a come on, man.
there was another way to go down there. I think, right? There was a way to the
know,
right.
But I mean,
Be good and not get hit.
A single
not-
time.
Flawless. Do not get hit on an enemy type that I have not seen before. You got it, buddy.
What if it's friendly?
What if it's friendly?
There has been several times where it looked like they were friendly, and they actually are. But it's still very threatening.
It's a nerve root!
Oh my god. Are you friendly?
You're gonna need to whack that.
Oh. I can hit up upgrades.
Finally.
Finally.
We have done it. Lawrence can upgrade his thing, and you now have, it's not necessarily better per se than what you were doing before, but at least now you have a quick way into the festering pit.
It's not that much, but I still have to walk like the same distance to get to the vulture as before.
Just don't die.
Don't get hit.
I have some advice for you, Lawrence, and it's 3 letters, a space, and then 4 letters.
I only listen to 3 letters, a space, and then another 3 letters.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I can work with that too. Get good. +7? That's not bad.
Yeah.
And you got like tons of mass. Oh yeah, dude, just keep fucking keep going,
shots.
dude.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep with this, honestly. And everything else.
You just increased your damage by almost 20 per swing. That's pretty good.
Only Sheeta could also, I don't know, give me some freaking fucking health.
You can go to the.
Where is the thing here?
It's like right next to you. Yeah. There you go. And now, if we could, because you've gotten 2 new hunt points, you might want to allocate those, I guess.
Let's see. Oh, 3. All right. Meh.
Well, you have the 3 new ones at the bottom that you haven't even looked at yet.
I know. I'm reading. I just want to read.
Oh, you need to remind yourself.
The one previously, yeah. I'm gonna attack.
Oh, by the way, apparently the one where it says like, "Hey, just tilt slightly to like walk forward instead of doing your normal movement speed." Apparently, there are some enemy types which won't aggro if you just like gently walk by them, but
they can die. I need your mass.
I need your mass. That's really good when you're fighting bosses.
That's interesting. Okay.
Heals for 4% maximum health on successful absorb. Repelling will let you heal from weapon damage for the same percentage for a duration. So if you absorb somebody, not only do you get breath, you also get health. And that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. How much was that? That was only 1. Oh, because you get just multiple upgrades. Instantly heal for...
So what you've been doing is you tap it and then it heals over time. You hold it there, meaning that you're locked in place for longer, but you get more health.
Yeah, but my health isn't even that big.
Correct.
It drains a bit of breath. Wait, hold on. Unless it's saying I drain for a bit of health. Ugh, I don't like it. Hitting the back, they don't really face the back of me.
Increases force regeneration speed by 15%.
I'm done. I'm buying this instantly. This is.
I think you should get the second one too.
Yeah, but this one looks interesting. It's only 4%.
You can. There's a lot of stuff that you can deflect and repel. So.
It's only 4%.
What was the one that the big tongue guy, like the very last one on the list? What does the last one give you? Increases all damage done by 20% after pulling an enemy. Hey, you're doing a lot of that against the vulture.
Yeah, but not much on that many other enemies.
It's true. Usually the stuff that you can pull on are the big guys, right? Usually a lot of big people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go for Forest.
That's pretty good. You just increased your stamina regen by 30%. If you could do that in Dark Souls, they would call it the Caranthi ring, and people would use it forever.
Absolutely, that was a mainstay. Dex strength doesn't matter. The ring befits
The ring
all.
is just too useful.
All right, time to get in here and
Die.
Time to challenge the new enemy.
I could.
Do you have your map of... Oh, you don't have a map of the area, right? Because you need to kill the
I need
vulture to
kill
get
the
it.
vulture, and I don't even know where the vulture is anymore.
I'll take a wild guess and say somewhere to the left. Oh, right, you can fight this big fuck you crab man.
Yeah, I want to see what he see what he's got to say. Oh, okay, you're a boss.
He's a jaw crab.
Slow down, bro. Oh my god. All right.
Well,
You got your parries and you got your pulls. That's really the only things you need to pay attention to.
Oh my god, it pulls me back here.
It's actually easier from here when you think about it. Well, comparatively to the other surrogate, I guess.
so what's the punishment for dying? Is it just a loss of like?
So in Dark Souls, you lose your
Progress.
souls, right? And you have to go pick them up. In this game, you keep your souls, which in this game is called mass. You still keep them. So even if you're bashing your head against the same like group of enemies over and over, you will eventually have enough mass to level up and make that encounter easier. I think that's a good thing. You have a secondary resource, which you can see he currently has 0 of in the top left, where whenever you kill an enemy... Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Whenever you kill an enemy, you gain a certain number of ardor. Your ardor increases the amount of mass that you get from enemies by a percentage. So that's what you lose when you die. You lose your ardor, and as you saw, it leaves behind a...
Oh my god.
It leaves behind a thing, and you can bash it to get some of your ardor back.
What the fuck? Wait, I'm not doing damage.
Hmm. Have you encountered an enemy type before where their health bar was red, but you still couldn't damage them?
No.
You have, actually.
Alright. Whatever you say. Not anytime recently.
Yeah, but you actually did. I'll remind you of... You remember the quarry? The lithic town that you were in?
Sure.
Just reminding you.
Wasn't anytime recently, my man.
I guess in a literal sense, not recently, but I mean, you did fight 2 of these guys today. The enemy type that I'm thinking of.
The shield fuckers?
Oh, that was
okay,
good,
don't drop them on him.
but unfortunate.
Oh my god. Slow.
Oh, gee. I also don't like how there's just a whole... Congratulations.
Oh shit. Oh, never mind. I'm good. Ow. Just out of range for that parry.
But yeah,
Sad.
Lawrence, it was the shield guys. Because the shield guys, despite their health bar being red, need to be parried so their shield goes away.
Needs to be a
Technically,
different
you can
color.
kill this guy by jumping over him and striking down on top of him because his midsection isn't guarded. But you did the right thing by parrying his claw.
That's just the answer for this game. Is just to, he's getting alright. Just parry.
Just parry, dude. If it's not red, parry it. if it's not red, parry it. If it's yellow, pull it.
If it's not red, parry it unless it has a shield, and then the rules get a little murked.
Then you gotta pay attention. It's got it.
Oh yeah, is that the problem?
You gotta pay attention, my boy. You're clearly not paying attention to this game. I think. I like you just tripping him like an asshole. This horrible crab monster is just trying to live his life. All right.
They were just hiding there.
He was just vibing, and then you showed up to his house.
Well, he shouldn't have been a horrible monster.
Look at all this damage.
Oh shit.
You're getting.
I mean,
But
you
see,
made
you're getting it. You're
progress.
fine. You're fine. He's good.
Yeah, I am.
Lawrence, like, tears in his eyes, like, I am good.
No, it's still learning. It's still learning the boss, so it's like it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, not in that tone.
That's what I said.
What you said and your tone is different, my man.
Once again, I will say that I do like the designs of these guys. They're so fucking gross.
They are pretty disgusting. Shit.
And look, he can't even grab you anymore.
But still do be hurting.
After showing up to the vulture twice, Lawrence went on a small detour and came back more stronger than ever and fucking whooped the vulture's ass in 2 seconds. That's the headline for tomorrow's newspaper, by the way. Ooh,
Oh,
that was weird.
Oh shit. You're a little funky, my man.
Whack him, fucking whack him, yes. I think you got him.
Now the periods are getting weird.
Yes. Oh, Lawrence.
There you go. Give me your fucking thing.
You now have 2
alright.
Estus flasks.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Right, alright.
Wait, can you? What? I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that.
You're not?
I don't think so. I don't think you're supposed to, because you stood on that ledge.
I mean...
Oh, that was great. Oh!
No! Satisfying boss
I'm gonna grab
fight
that
followed
soundbite
by
later
the
of Lawrence just
most-
going, no!
Ah. How do they have this many annoying minions? This many annoying ads in this game? Because the boss fights and the mini bosses, they're fine. You can learn it, a death or two, but that's like
Lawrence,
any
did you
Souls
ever play
game.
Hollow Knight?
No,
You didn't
I
play Hollow Knight, right? Jesse, did you play
That's
Hollow
why-
Knight?
I played like the beginning of Hollow Knight.
Because
Are they like this?
for those of you who may or may not be watching this in the future, the part of the game that Lawrence is in right now is the equivalent of Deep Nest. If anybody knows what that means, it's exactly what he's going through right now. And just like with Deep Nest, he's gonna make it through, and then he's gonna be like, oh, everything else in the game is so easy.
God. Alright, where are you?
Are you gonna fight the bird, man?
He has to remember where it is.
Not only remember where it is, but I have to go through that entire path. Wherever it is. So I'll do that.
Jaw plate hands.
Ooh. Actually, what is that?
I think it's resonance. No, that's just strength.
Bunga bunga.
Go for it, my dude. That sounds awesome. Look, it even tells you what it would increase.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't even know what Tongue Brute is.
Tongue Brute is the guy that you fought a couple times where he has like the big tongue.
Yeah, but why 30% Tongue Brute?
I don't know.
What exactly are you playing as?
In what what does that question mean?
Like what is your character?
So I guess I could fill you in on that because you weren't here for the intro. This entire world that we're playing in right now is the result of two galaxy-sized beings made of flesh, stone, and energy having sex and then obliterating upon each other.
Oh,
like
yeah. Wonderful, right, Jesse?
So
we saw that at the beginning.
So this entire world is their desiccated corpses, effectively like slowly over the course of billions of years, like reforming together. And the overall objective of that is to create a new godlike being. Every creature that's in this game has the capacity, in theory, to become that godlike being, but none of them have a black hole for a head, so it seems like we have a advantage.
Oh, wait.
Even though we're very tiny.
He did it!
He found the bird, man.
Alright.
You got it, Lawrence. Go for it.
You're gonna do so much more damage, my guy. Look at that. That's so much.
Way better.
Just remember to pull
run.
and dodge. That's all.
And remember to keep a track of when it's gonna throw out stuff. There we go. There, you just gotta. Woo!
There you go.
Yeah, any questions, Jesse? Hopefully that answers your question of who we are.
So,
it's a bit of a wild
is
description.
you being a black hole person like the anomaly?
Define anomaly.
Like comparative to like all the other creatures in like.
There have been other creatures, because this world has existed for like hundreds of thousands of years. You just were recently born into it. There have been creatures prior to you with the Heart of Darkness, which is, I believe, what they refer to it as.
Right.
There have been people prior to you that have the Heart of Darkness, but you're just the most recent one. And as far as I remember, I think there's only ever one at a time. Yeah. Because people like, I mean, Shida is his own thing, or Shindra rather, but is his own thing. But like most creatures in this world, if they want to improve themselves, it often involves either taking just matter from the world and sticking it to themselves, or physically chiseling it away so that way they are in a more perfect form.
In a more proportional form.
In a more proportional form, which is also equivalent to strength, according to this world. because we have a black hole for a head and can just suck up an infinite amount of mass, we can just suck up the mass and apply it in whatever way we want.
I like to say our suck game is strong, Jesse.
The suck game is pretty
Suck
strong.
game is strong.
We may be actually the strongest in the world, universe. I don't know what sucks harder than a black hole.
Legend of Korra.
Oh my god!
Literally did nothing. What are you doing?
I know. God,
That
I wish
did come out of
you
left
guys
field.
could see like an X-ray, like a cartoon X-ray of my brain. Because Saba was like, I can't think of anything that sucks harder, and my brain was like, all right, who's here right now? It's Saba, so I could insult something that she likes. Jesse's here, but I kind of want him to play Outer Wilds, so I want to make sure he's okay. Lawrence.
Man.
Legend of Korra is great though.
It's a show of...
Debatable, but well, let's not get into that. He just sighed and went back into laughing.
Lawrence, when you get back down there, there's that big. It's like a yellow. It's the yellow crystal that you run past. I would suggest pulling on it so that way you can get your second Estus flask for the boss.
Right, second Estus.
Lawrence, are you okay?
I'm tired, man.
He's tired of dying multiple times. And
Well,
having to
dying multiple
backtrack.
times isn't backtracking. Yeah, that's kind of that is certainly adding to it, but it's not necessarily the dying thing. It's the backtracking, as you says, and the number of annoying enemies I just have to run past just to hit this.
Lawrence, pull it. Lawrence, pull it. Thank you. Wait.
Wait a minute.
Well, fuck me
Did I
then.
drain this?
That'd be funny if, because you were above it, it went into the ground instead of to you, but whatever, it's fine.
Oh my god, dude. He's body... Wait, is this he? What the fuck? Alright. That's a little better.
You don't have to deal with any of those enemies anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. How much damage does your weapon do now? Check that real quick.
Fucking... Let's see.
74. Your damage scaling, was it plus 10 before? Because it's plus 10 now. I don't remember if it was plus 10 before.
I don't know. This is plus 12. Holy shit. But it's still 66.
It also has like less reach, which is pretty useful. Oh, or sorry, like reach is useful rather. Oh, fucking big swing, dude. Big swing. Yes. Your hit did 236 damage.
Got it. Stamina!
Ooh! Oh my god.
Good.
He's beginning to believe. Yes.
That still hurt. Are you shitting me, dog? Shit.
Hey, when he does the beak slam, can you just parry that?
I keep trying, but for some reason it's not connecting. I don't know if the timing's off or
Maybe the timing might be a little off, because I can confirm to you that it doesn't matter how big they are, you can definitely parry them.
Yeah, it's just doing that weird thing.
He's doing the big big spit. Oh.
That's so far, bro. Okay.
That's progress.
That's it. That's edge of the screen.
That's progress.
That is progress.
We do like progress.
I mean, you made it through Nerve Pass, right? Which is already hard. Like Nerve Pass is a tough area to begin with, and now you're in Feaster's Lair. Oh, I just realized it's called Feaster's Lair because it's a mouth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why is the mouth at the bottom?
There's a lot of questions I could ask, but frankly, they all.
By the
scare
way,
me.
I don't know if these two beings, right, had this much teeth. Or, like, stuff multiply, I guess.
Well, it's reforming. It's trying to reform into their perfect image.
Yeah, but like
I didn't realize
it's like
the perfect
jumbled.
image had this much teeth.
Everything is jumbled.
It's a jumbled mess.
How dare you speak like that to our perfect being?
You can take damage there. That was good. Yes.
Right?
Oh,
Lawrence, come on, Lawrence.
All right, second health bar.
Oh shit! Of course there is. What the fuck?
Bad guys, get ready.
Ads? Are you shitting me, man?
Oh my god, he's back. Oh my god.
You had the honor of being a good boss fight, and now you've squandered it.
Oh man, that happened so fast.
It had the honor of being a good boss fight.
And then it
What's wrong with ads, dude?
I can't believe it.
I do want you to think about it for a second, though. What do ads mean in a game like this?
Ad.
No, but I mean, like, does... The ads might be a lot more useful than you might initially anticipate, I suppose. Come on, big wing. Or that works too.
How? Okay.
243. Wow, you took no damage from that.
I don't. I'll take it. I'm launched him. What the fuck? That's good. Like weird. Get over
That's
here,
me after I eat a salad.
dummy.
Alright, phase 2.
Phase 2.
Break his armor.
Damn.
Now, parry. Yes!
Oh, killing the prey does it.
Oh, there's more.
Of course there's more.
Nope, they don't have armor. He's spitting.
He's
He's
spitting
spitting
balls.
fire.
Good job.
I
One
got
more.
somebody.
Yes!
Come on, Lawrence.
Oh, this is a
It's
mini
okay, not
boss
that much
fight.
health. It was lost.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
Lawrence, you're doing so good.
That's the
We're
biggest.
a second away, Lawrence.
It's just this
A
one last guy.
millimeter.
Pull it! Pull it! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yikes.
You have to go whack him. Go whack him.
Yeah.
Finish him off.
There you go.
What a finishing move.
So it's technically not a boss fight with ads. It's him taking portions of his life bar and sending them after you.
Oh, well, that does make it a little bit easier, I guess.
You breathe in.
What if you tame the beast?
Become one with the vulture.
The mouth and teeth. Whoa, he expanded.
And now I'm small again. Yeah, Gaston.
You now can dash while in the air.
Yay!
Hey, you remember that part before where there was like the thin rodent teeth
Little
and you couldn't jump through it?
parts.
Congratulations.
No. Why does it have to be a map, dude, for this one?
You have look at all the shit you already did.
All the shit. Why would there be a map of all things?
You have to go up.
Yeah, I want to see what's here.
And it's funny because now that you have
got.
air dash, you can leave because you couldn't leave before having the air dash.
Yeah.
No.
Yay.
Congratulations, Lawrence!
He
Congratulations, that was really good.
so enthusiastic.
Just tired.
This is the equivalent of giving me the super weapon after I kill the final boss.
You're well. I don't know about that, but hey, at least you know things are happening.
Things are. Wait a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Did you see something?
There was a thing over
He's
there.
beginning to believe.
My God.
Jaw plate vest. Put that shit on. It looks ridiculous.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's just
The one that has
it's just
teeth?
big teeth.
You can change it if you like the other one more aesthetically. Well, don't forget.
I don't know. It's still kind of winning my heart.
Okay.
Lawrence, you are just a
reminding you.
barbarian.
Bunga bunga.
Unga bunga. I mean, that is my playstyle at the moment. I don't even want to fucking fight these dudes. I never went. Fuck. I saw red and I'm like, ooh.
Ooh, treasure!
Yeah, it's so slow.
You got a rib. It's an enemy.
Oh my fucking. That's fine. I should have known. Damn, bro, eat.
He's defensive right now.
Oh, he can attack back and forth. All right. There you go.
Yay! And you got a couple, and you got a
Although-
blood metal splinter.
Kids are off to school. There's going to be more young people around now because they're out of school. That'll be fun.
Oh, bump off. They're covering the ledge. That's not
We
bad.
got him, boss. He won't be able to get past us. Oh, you jumped.
They won't be able to get past us, but we've got that bomb up there. Make sure not to touch it.
Dude, I love this game. This game is so good. Oh.
Nope. Nope.
I think that was a wise decision, yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Fuck that guy.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Fucking awesome! That was incredible.
Fully planned to do that. Oh, okay.
You got blood
Big
metal.
shard. Up. I'm good.
All of those guys are like, hey, I remember you.
Hello? I kill you. I mean, of course I killed you before, but
Dead.
There you go.
You have 4,000 mass.
I have been
Wow,
here.
you got pretty heavy, huh?
Yes, Lawrence.
Man.
You can do it. I believe.
Oh
Hello.
my god, what are you, mate?
Hello.
there's two
There's a
of you.
second one.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That was awesome.
Got pelted.
God, the
God,
fucking
beat
the
into the
oscillation
ground.
of boom, 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 boom.
The charge afterwards.
Dude, level up. I don't know. Do you want health or stamina at this point, or do you want to just keep putting it into strength? The strength will make you deal more damage.
Oh, let's balance it out more. Oh, I only have
You
two.
only got 2. I think that's
Actually,
fair.
How many?
I think you canceled it.
How many spare? Yeah, of
Oh,
course
okay.
I canceled it, bro. 250.
And that's it.
Any other?
If you go
So I guess I'll
back
do it
to
too.
World Pillar, you can sell the stuff you're not using as well for additional
You know,
mass. Since it's pretty obvious at this point that you don't want to do dex, I think we could probably sell your dex weapons, maybe.
Why not? Nah. We'll do that once the world pillar is here.
I believe, by the way, if you ever get like a bunch of mass again, you can go back to that owl merchant that you found previously, because I believe he has the full set of armor for this area, so you could get the jawbone or the jaw plate and legs and get the full set.
Oh, I could have always done this.
I just realized a bunch of the rocks in the background look like tongues.
That do be adding down, boy. Excuse me.
He's still coming.
Damn, bro.
What do you do?
What the fuck?
I don't know what that was.
I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do after that jump. You know, just go down normally.
There's nowhere to go but up. You know? Lawrence is continuing to become a better gamer. The perpetual quest that we're all on every day. Exciting. He's learning new techniques. He's learning new frustrations.
He's learning to subside his frustrations. Maybe a little bit unsuccessfully, but
Just
he's trying
only
his
a
best.
little bit though.
Man.
You should pull out another banter topic.
Okay, sure. Let's give Lawrence his time to.
I think he and I are similar. I'll just tell you that, Lawrence. When I start getting annoyed, I too start getting quiet. And when people start talking to me, I'm like, "You did this to me, Zach. So please shut up."
I
or
didn't
I'm
do
gonna
nothing to
rage
you.
quit."
I didn't do anything.
It's probably gonna be Zach. Let's be honest.
No,
I'm just recounting for the future, Zach. When you do this to me,
that's not fair.
blame you for something that
I
hasn't
don't know.
happened.
What do you want to talk about?
Did you talk about the input stuff for SF6, Zach?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday on stream. None of us are particularly big SF6 fans. I know you are because you're a fighting game guy. But I just thought it was interesting that they're clearly going all in on. Oh, nice. They're clearly going all in on getting sick, dude. On making SF6 as accessible as possible for new players, which is really cool. I think that's really nice.
I mean, it's cool that they're giving an option, because this is the first time that Street Fighter is adopting a simple layout.
Yeah.
Or like a simple control scheme option. So, and who knows how that's going to affect
who gets the advantage
competitive
for that?
play, but like it's the fact that you can choose between both control schemes.
Either or, yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
Because like my understanding based on the the podcast that I was listening to was that in other games that have done this sort of thing before, where there's the the classic and then the modern or like simplified control scheme, the way that it eventually broke down in terms of balance was that people who use the simplified control scheme were obviously able to conduct moves easier, but it's a lot more difficult to actually string stuff together because it requires more button inputs. Whereas if you're actually doing like the complex inputs, you can string stuff together with relative ease.
Yes.
So, which is funny enough, is exactly what matters between like new players and returning players, right? Because if you're a new player, just doing something period is what you're trying to do because it's hard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, the game looks good. It takes it's a good balance between mechanics from Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds in that case.
What the fuck is this thing?
Yo, it's a crying skeleton, man.
He's made of hands.
Are you sure? It's just a lot of hands. I think.
Hey man,
can you dash through them?
You need a hand.
Did you just find an optional boss fight that I didn't find?
I guess so.
Yo, are you playing this game better than Zach did?
Certainly not, but he is.
Man.
But he did. Oh, you know what? I know what this is. Okay. Oh. Yes, the misbegotten amalgam. Dude, this boss fight's ridiculous.
Whoa.
Yo, all the hands started moving.
So, Lawrence, I would like to take a moment to explain a little bit about what this is. This is a secret boss, not mandatory, obviously. But there is a story moment that happens where once you cross that threshold, this guy disappears and you can't fight him.
Oh, snap.
He is like scaled, like from his stats to his moveset to everything. He is scaled as if he was a post-game boss.
Very cool. That means he's really hard.
He's exceptionally hard.
That's why you should beat him now.
So exceptionally hard.
If you do beat the misbegotten amalgam, I'll eat my hat.
Make him eat his hat, Lawrence.
That's why you beat him now, Lawrence.
I need a second to learn his wild moveset. Bro, I can't. Okay.
He lowers the ground. Interesting.
He does.
And you can't be there, and then his opposite hand shockwaves.
This feels like the first boss fight.
It does, doesn't it? That's kind of interesting.
But several times more intense.
Well, at least the way there isn't that long.
Yeah.
Hey Saba, what do you want to do for Next Fest? Like what are we actually gonna do for that? I guess because I actually have to go into the office this week, which sucks even more because that means that's an extra like hour and a half out of my day that I won't be able to like play demos.
I mean, what we could do is we could organize it.
Are you fighting on a spine, by the way?
It looks like a spine.
We could organize it like last time a little bit, where we can like quickly like look through it and then like save stuff that we think looks interesting, and then say like do stuff a little bit in batches if you want. They could be short, like even an hour.
Oh no, we're not gonna be doing it every day. I'm gonna be exhausted.
Well, not every day, but I'm saying like
I work
if
for
you
a
want,
living.
we could. True. Same. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think if it's okay with you, I think because how many did we do last time? I think I ended up showing you. We ended up playing a lot, didn't we?
At some point.
I don't. Did it take us a week? I think you remember a little bit better.
What do you mean?
It was a lot. It did feel like I don't remember.
We did play every
us.
day for the week of the previous Next Fest. Yes.
Yeah.
And we won't be able to do that this time, obviously. So I think we'll. I don't know. I think like. You know what?
How long is the Next
we'll...
Fest?
It's a week.
It is a week. Okay.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday to Sunday. Like tomorrow to Sunday. So I think what we'll do is that after Layton on Friday and Saturday, instead of doing Vampire Survivors, I'll take a little bit of time to show off some demos.
Okay.
I think that sounds fine, right?
Yeah, I can, and I can also take it upon myself if I want to look at some of the demos if they look good.
Obviously, you'll have to let me know ahead of time, so I have them downloaded for. Like, if there's something that's particularly interesting, you have to let me know. So I can have it downloaded.
I want to show you. Sure. I mean, it may not be up your alley, but at least if it's like something worth appreciating, why not? It's fun though. Nice, Lawrence.
This boss is
for triple.
crazy.
Okay.
At least he technically telegraphs with the red, right? So
There's 6 telegraphs, so you're technically correct.
I think so. If his hand is up and he's it turns red. I think that's the fist coming down. If it's the inner one that's already down, then I think it's like the slapping motion.
Slapping motion.
There's very subtle reads, and I think I am.
Have you pulled his eyeball yet?
Yeah, I noticed that you can pull his eye inserted.
That one I did not notice.
I wanna see what happens if you do. I think he does it at the very beginning.
Yeah, he does it at the very beginning.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, and those are parryable because they're not red. Oh, you know what? You said like he's kind of similar to that first boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grime first.
Oh man, boss. I didn't even notice the parryable. That changes things.
Yeah, the first boss of the game is just called the Amalgam.
Oh, and what was this one called again?
The Misbegotten Amalgam. It's so literally just a tougher version of that fight.
Wait, I thought it was amalgamation.
Yeah, no. Whatever.
Close enough. No, it is amalgam. Okay.
Missed it.
Coming down slapping.
Yeah. Thought I had time to heal, but I clearly didn't.
Oh man, we're never gonna get to... so Jesse, I think it might be more because Lawrence had a lot of trouble today with these two areas, and that's totally fair. You know what I mean? Like, these are possibly the most frustrating areas in the game. But, like, I'm thinking about, like, the stuff that Lawrence has left to do. And now I have no idea how quickly Lawrence is going to be able to do them. Because he fucking breezed through the early game like it was his job. And it's like, I don't know. Like, what... Lawrence might just fucking one-shot the servant's passage. You do the slap. You do the swipe. I like how these hands have two.
Man.
I like how these hands have two thumbs.
He's freaky. Also, the noise he makes is freaky. Wait a second.
Yes.
I need to see how much mass.
Do you have a 250 left, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, what's that item that you have? What's the when you're done with this? What's the third item in your inventory?
Well, let's see.
You can go for strength.
Need some force though for the boss.
That seems fair.
What is this thing?
Oh, this is how you move
need.
on with the story.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to go deeper than this?
No, absolutely not.
Alright.
God, look how big that boss arena is. The game's like,
big.
dude, this is a boss.
Dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at the exit there. I'm like, yeah, that's... You can certainly hit there. I want to give it a couple of tries, because this is...
I think that's fair. Yeah, we have an hour left to stream.
More up my alley.
You totally beat the boss right now.
I would be
right
super
now.
impressed. It's hard. I don't even remember what you get for this boss.
Or an optional
This one
boss.
I'm fine with a satisfaction.
Is that an optional boss?
Yeah, I didn't even fight this guy because I didn't know that he existed until after I had already passed his trigger.
Ooh, you got rid of a hand. Oh, it regenerates. Okay.
Oh, bro, come on. Oh, shit. Wait, am I still? I'm still falling.
Yeah.
I thought I was still on a ledge.
I just googled just because I wanted to see what the reward for beating this guy was, and there's a guide, a video guide on how to beat the misbegotten amalgam, and the video is titled "Knees Weak, Palms Sweaty, Mom Spaghetti."
Yes.
Yes. What the fuck?
Nice. Nice. He's beginning to believe. Hey Lawrence, is that stamina like it seems like the stamina is doing incredible work for you.
It do be. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, he's the slightly different timings for his. This seems like phase 2.
I think you did make it to phase 2. Congratulations.
Slightly different timings. I go. I'm in the ropes now.
So Jesse, there's a movement option that's traditionally in Metroidvanias. Would you happen to have an idea as to what that is?
What, the wave dash?
Wave dash? He already has a dash.
Oh. Oh.
You don't
Is
have to
it
say it
the-
out. You don't have to say it out loud, in case
Okay.
you do know. But it's that.
Oh.
Right? That makes sense,
Oh,
right?
bro.
Apparently, fighting this boss without that is fucking impossible.
Nonsense. He can
guessing I
totally
don't.
do
And
it.
Lawrence is totally gonna do it.
Nah, he can totally do it.
Because there's not a thing that he does that I don't feel like I could counter.
Besides
feels,
like
it all feels
besides
doable.
the few times where he slams his fist without red. Nice. Oh, he's...
I think Lawrence has got this. He's.
I think it's gonna take Lawrence like another like
smack.
15-20 minutes, but I do think he's got it. Because like he doesn't have enough knowledge of the other phases, but he's so good.
Fuck. Oh. It's...
The amalgam looks at you like foolish mortal. Healing. Boom. And crushes you.
Just let me cry in peace.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, all the guy ever wanted was to cry. Okay.
Can he cry without being called an amalgamation? I don't think so. The proportions one is here to help you out, which in turn helps me out mostly.
We're here to help each other out, you know?
Yeah.
You need to stop crying, and I need the mask that I'm gonna get for killing you.
Emotions are overrated anyway.
True.
Watch out.
Did you just gently say watch out
Yeah.
against this boss?
Ah.
Yeah. Lawrence, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you're in danger. Oh!
Oh my god!
Kill the clap.
That was a
That
big
claps.
clap.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Woo woo.
Do that 2% ardor. Let's go.
On me, brother. I'm trying to take advantage of his second fists. Oh. That's fine. Hit.
Oh, that's why the pull is good, because it allows you to get more breath, too. That's neat.
Hit. There we go.
Second phase. Big slap.
Clap.
Nice. You just need one more? Big slap. Oh,
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen that
okay.
before.
A little difference.
I mean, you got the halfway point, so
I
that's
did
good.
I did catch the halfway
But
point.
we don't know if there's another phase after.
God, could
drain
you
the
imagine
life
if it's
point.
like a 3-phase boss fight for the first health bar, and then the second health bar shows up, and it's another 3
Oh
phases?
god. Fucking Sister Frida moment from Dark Souls 3.
But I think you got into a pattern, so it's
Yeah, there's a
Probably
pattern.
I want a boss designer from a game like this to just go fucking insane one day and be like, you know what? Fuck you. 100 phases,
Fuck,
100
he's so
health
bad.
bars per phase.
that's just called endless mode.
No, it's one boss fight.
Yeah, it's just endless mode. Survival.
Oh shit. Oh shit. That's a bad run anyways.
I wonder why this fellow is misbegotten. He seems to be a lot more capable than his amalgam brethren.
Well,
maybe he's just less sociable.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's out here
crying when you first see him, so.
No, right, but like, I think he's crying because he's misbegotten, not the other way around, right?
I like to think it was the other way around.
Because he cried all the time, he was misbegotten.
Yeah. Oh, I just noticed there's like nasty looking like fluid coming out of his eye.
We would typically call those tears, but yes.
Oh man, those tears are black.
Those tears are black, and also, now that I look at them, they appear to be extremely viscous, which, if your tears are extremely viscous, please go to the hospital.
Ooh, that was
Don't forget to pull after the clap.
Oh shit.
Oh, yes! You have a health bar.
Shit.
Yeah, you're fine. Oh. He's extremely upset. I think this is gonna be the triple.
Watch out. Yeah.
One more. There you go. Pull.
He's doing
yes!
all of them.
Lawrence.
Oh, he's switching it up a little bit.
Triple.
Oh shit.
One more. Pull. Yes. You need one more. Now heal. Or don't.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Just no.
Oh, that was a spread.
Hey, I told you to watch out.
So I think that was the third phase, if we could call it that, because he went from having like one centralized AI pattern where he would just do the same pattern, or like he would do like one big pattern across both sides, to now each side is acting independently of the other one, leading to like patterns that are really fucked. This is a great boss.
Feel like that. I'll say this is a fun fight. Oh, that's a scary start.
Pull. I forget that the absorb also just does damage. Oh. Which is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Clap, pull.
Oh, he's going straight into that.
Triple. Oh, yes.
Oh man, I was a little faster. Oh, he went for 2 reds on the left. Alright. I see you.
He was just like, leave me alone. Now, you know what? I am gonna look up what happens if you have a full, like, armor set. Like, what does that actually do?
Yeah, because you do get a bonus, huh?
Pull. Yes. Oh my god, some of these look so good.
That swing.
Oh, well, that's crazy. So that thing where it's... Well, I'll wait until...
Fine.
Pull. Yes.
How's he doing? I have to like real quiet for this.
Oh, I was trying to swing. I had no stamina. It ruined my mojo.
So, to let you know, this wasn't in the base game when I originally played, evidently. Previously,
So that's why
the way
you
that
missed it. That's his reason for missing it.
no, I'm saying the thing that I'm about to talk about, but you weren't here, so thank you. But when you complete an armor set, previously it would just give you more stats. So like your jawbone set that you have right now is giving you strength. When you completed it, it would give you more strength. That's what it used to do. But now it gives you a percentage of your present level in one of the hunt point categories. So if you complete the jaw plate set, you get 30% of whatever your tongue brute level is. So
Okay, understood.
now, what does tongue brute do? Don't remember, but we'll see.
Phase 2. Phase 2.
You're already in phase 2.
There you go.
Nice. 3. One more. And again.
4.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll give this guy something to cry about. Go,
Oh, he went for
Lawrence!
that. He was going for that. He was going for that. I feel like that's a...
Slap.
Oh, he's slapping?
1, 2, 3,
3. Yeah.
4.
4.
Yes. I would actually probably use that time to heal.
Nonsense.
Okay.
It's okay. Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh,
You're
so
doing
close.
so good, though. You're doing so good.
My legs.
Real
My
impressed with you,
legs.
Lawrence.
Getting there. His ass is mine.
God, I can't wait for the second health bar.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
please.
Shows
yeah.
up.
So the tongue brute one is where you pull them to get more damage. So instead
Oh,
of so
okay.
it's 30% of whatever your current allocation of that skill is. So if you have 0, it just gives you a free 30%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, needless to say, having a full set of armor is good by default, so yeah.
Ow.
What the fuck?
Wait, what the fuck? While your health is healing via breath, you don't regain stamina? I don't know. Maybe this article is old, but you remember the little ads that were spawned in during the Vulture boss fight?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's their hunt point like reward is when you activate it. Force regeneration will not pause while healing.
Oh, okay.
That was excellent.
Ooh.
Lawrence.
All right.
Lawrence. Oh my goodness.
He didn't do it.
Big punch. Big slap.
Oh, he was.
Ooh, the 1-2.
I got stun locked there.
I think at that point of the stage, you should switch to the other side and parry on that side.
And then if I
100%
might make a suggestion, I know that pulling him obviously opens him up for damage. If you're low, I think you should also use that time to heal instead.
I could try that.
Yeah, because I think it gives you, like, if you pull and then immediately hit your health, I think it gives you just enough time to be able to respond to whatever he does. Oh! Oh, Lawrence, you're gonna be so happy, but also upset by what this guy gives you when you beat him.
Oh, this is a bad run.
Nonsense.
How could any run be a bad one when you got this support team cheering you on?
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like comparing the evident emotional states of Lawrence when he was fighting all those like annoying like jaw crabs or whatever versus how he's feeling now where he's like, dude, let's go.
Well, just make an enemy actually interesting and not annoying.
But what if I just shot you from off screen?
I'm good, buddy.
That was excellent.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you regained stamina while healing. I don't know what the article was talking about.
What if he like debates you and like doesn't
do the
poll?
fourth sometimes?
Oh,
like
he doesn't do the poll prompt.
That's
So you,
gonna,
like,
that's just
expect-
throw me off so hard.
You like expect to pull like after that jump, and then he just doesn't do it.
That's gonna throw me off so hard.
I know that it would be, I don't know, maybe a little bit too comedic, but I would love if there was like a fourth phase where he had like no health left, right? Like it was like nothing, and he does that 1, 2, 3, 4 that you clearly need to learn in order to get to the fourth phase, and he pauses instead of like swiping out. He just like
he delays that shit.
Yeah, he just flicks you like with his hand. He just goes bing. Oh, that'd be so good.
This is rough already.
All you need is a chip in a chair, my dude. 1 health point is all you need in order to beat this guy.
Truing.
A truing. That was fine. Yeah, I'll say that's gonna immediately break him.
Immediately, alright.
Jump! Oh.
A little close there, buddy.
That's 1.
Oh, that was,
if you get the next one
early.
Oh, you need.
Nah, he won't go for it.
I'm like yelling stuff without like remembering I'm muted. I tried to warn about the slap, but you know, sorry.
How can she slap?
How could she slap? Why are you slapping? I'm just combining the memes now.
Why are you slapping? it just cuts to a guy who's like.
Why you have to be mad at game?
Why do
It's
you
only a
have to
slap.
be mad? They're just jaw crabs. Just get good, obviously. What the fuck did you hit?
My armpits.
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't see it. I just saw something break, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
You know what's interesting to me?
Oh, Lawrence!
What was that?
Is that sometimes like people don't synonymously when they have like a hobby or an interest, it's sometimes not being synonymous with another hobby or interest. So for example, normally like since I'm into like anime and video games, I feel like anime and video games are kind of connected with each other.
I
So
think
like when I meet
makes sense,
someone
yeah.
who's like only into anime and not into video games, I just like I get confused a little bit. I'm like, really? You managed to evade video games, but you like got caught in like anime?
Like watching.
I like the narrative here of anime and video games being a double layer like bear trap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, you're gonna get caught by one or the other, probably both.
Yep.
I was about to say, I had people that I knew in high school that were only into anime and not video games. Man, that is a one-hit KO. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess they telegraph it a lot, but
I think the thing is also because there's a lot of anime video games, right? Anime is really
Anime-based
big-
video games.
Basically, you know?
All the SAO games. All the One Piece games.
all the Naruto games. Did they
Yeah,
ever
they're
make
inherently
make a Hunter x Hunter game?
I don't think so.
No, but
surprising.
Hunter x Hunter characters have appeared in crossover games.
Well, there you go. Close
There you
enough.
go.
Actually, there might have been a Hunter x Hunter game on like the DS or something.
Maybe? Really?
Let me go check that.
God, Lawrence, I love it when you hurt him a lot.
Okay. Oh.
Is that
okay.
what you're into, Zach?
Sorry?
Is that what you're into? You like it when, you know, Lawrence hurts other people a lot?
Sure, why do you think I invite him to stream?
Yeah.
Oh. Dang.
I'm there to inflict damage.
Mostly
on
on
who,
me.
though? That's the question.
Of course, that's why. That's why you probably haven't heard of a lot of them. Most of the Hunter x Hunter games were Japan only,
Oh, okay.
and like they're like pretty old stuff too. They're like because they're based on the original release of Hunter x Hunter, I'm assuming. So,
Oh, okay.
So they're like
The
like PS1
19
era.
Really old?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
like the 90s version of Hunter x Hunter.
That's not good.
Oh man.
So you have like Game Boy Color and PS1 games and stuff.
Dude, this music's awesome. Oh,
It's pretty loud.
it's gonna be red. It's gonna be red.
Stop going out.
It's okay, it's okay.
Lawrence, just hit him.
No! Oh! We stopped
Does he
talking
have,
about
like-
our stuff and started like paying attention. Oh god.
Lawrence, do you actually have to hit? Is this hitbox up? Do you have to like
his,
jump and hit
his,
him?
his hitbox is both up and bottom.
Does
Oh,
he
okay.
take
But
more
bottom is
damage if you
easier.
hit him in the face?
Maybe.
Don't change your pattern at all because you're
I was gonna
clearly
say, I'm
you
not
clearly
doing
got
that.
this. You just need to, you got it. But there are
got
bosses in this game that do have damage zones.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case.
Sick. Oh, wow,
Dude,
that was
was
generous.
Yeah.
Man.
He's beginning to believe. That
okay,
was risky,
okay.
but worth it. You ready to pull? Yes. That was 43.
There you go.
Oh, that was a.
Oh, it blew up the platform.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to be the platform destroyer.
Do you happen to recall, Lawrence, what did you hit him with a light or a heavy when you jumped that time?
These are all lights.
Everything is
I
lights.
don't.
Okay.
I don't got time for a heavy.
So
He's swinging too fast.
So your jumping light when you hit him in the face dealt 43. Your standing light dealt 30 or 73.
Ah, so it is more damage.
So it's more damage if you just whack him instead of the face.
Oh, excuse me?
You took a lot of damage.
Wait, what the fuck? That's not his combo.
Yo, you broke the pattern.
He's
What's happening? What the fuck?
He's like, you know what? 50 times is enough. I'm changing my pattern.
That's a phase 2 combo.
You know what? You know what's really funny? There's no way that they would ever do this, but it did literally just tick over to 6:30. That'd be hilarious if his pattern was determined by time.
That would be crazy.
I would love that. That would be incredible.
That would throw so many people off.
If you broke the day into 30-minute intervals, that's what? That's 48, right? How could you do that? Yeah, you could do that.
We believe in you, Lawrence. We're sure you will finish this within
He
the
was
next 30
literally
minutes.
one hit away last time. He's definitely got it. He just needs more time.
Don't forget, ground stuff is better.
Don't forget, ground is super effective against fire.
Yes. Because you snuff out
Oh, that was a 2-hit. What the?
the thing, the fire.
What do you say? Fire beats ground? What is the thing in Pokemon?
No, ground beats fire.
Ground beats
That's what Zach
fire.
said.
Yes.
I never
Ground
remember.
Ground does beat fire.
I never remember either.
Doesn't rock
If you
also
throw
beat fire?
Yes, rock also beats fire.
Why
There's
why
a
does that
fire. You
beat
just
fire?
dump a giant boulder on the fire and it'll snuff it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the
You
classic
kick
game
dust
of
on fire. Yeah.
it's the classic game of rock paper fire.
Rock, paper, fire.
Yeah.
It works if you think about it.
Yeah, fire burns paper.
Paper covers rock, rock snuffs out fire.
Yeah, there you go. You probably couldn't do it like water. Water wouldn't work because water and rock really meh, like nothing happened.
Rock
mean?
sinks in water. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Ah,
The
that.
water erodes rock.
But then
Slowly,
water
we don't
also
have enough time to
damages
wait for
paper.
that,
How does
Jesse.
paper? What does paper? How does paper win against water?
Paper drowns the water.
Paper drowns water.
That was good.
Paper absorbs the water.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Are you low for me, Zach? Yes.
Oh. That's fine.
That's bad.
Oh.
Ooh, bad.
Oh, that.
That was,
You
that
went
was
down
unfortunate.
with his fist.
Yeah, he threw me down there.
This is definitely a good way to finish off the stream. Like, I'm assuming that Lawrence is gonna get it like in the next 10-20 minutes or whatever, and then we'll spend the last 10 minutes being like, so Lawrence, how does it feel being a god gamer?
Feels good fighting 6-armed giants. Not so good against crabs. Crabs are my weakness.
I would absolutely love to just put you in an arena with like just 60 of those little crab things.
So Lawrence, speaking about other video games, I've managed to uncover all of Chasm map.
Let's go.
Nice.
I gotta go back to the what is it? The mission of with Dainsleaf because apparently I just left him.
You left him hanging, bro.
I left him hang. I didn't realize they were two separate missions.
Yeah,
So
that's the Archon quest. So.
yeah. So I figured may as well.
You bet.
No, and I only have probably like 8 days, and I can't do it until I finish the Archon quest with Dainsleaf. I think.
Oh no.
I mean, last time I
Let me
checked,
use the bathroom.
we can't,
Be right back.
it says we can't. It says I can't do it.
But
It
keep
says
talking
that
about.
there's a prerequisite.
I'll also talk about Genshin when I come back.
No, you need to
But
focus.
I should have enough time to do this event. I don't think it'll take me like 5 days.
Yeah, it shouldn't. The content afterwards, it's like, I mean, like the domains for the event.
Oh, there's
that's-
domains.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
nice.
basically It's basically Abyss.
No.
Especially
so
the
hard.
last one. The last one is like a gauntlet. Like you have to go through 6 rounds.
Well, can we invite other players to help?
No.
Oh God.
I believe it's single player.
Well,
I mean, you can choose the difficulty, so.
That's good. Maybe I was like, maybe I won't.
If you can't do the hardest one, you just won't get all the rewards. So.
Okay, that's just reward. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like story-wise, I want to get it.
There's a lot of primos though, so.
I'm back up to like 6,000, so I'm pretty happy. Though I still think that'll all run out when I try to get Kazuha, which will make me really sad again.
No, it's.
As I've already stated, Oyo likes to take away the ones I want the most.
Oh, Lawrence, real quick.
I'll probably go play
Can I make
Genshin
a
after
suggestion?
this.
If you wouldn't mind opening up your inventory. So I was just checking through your inventory to look at stuff. How do you feel about consumables? Because you have 8. So that those roots, those nerve roots that you have 8 and then 3.
He has to hoard them.
Those increase your damage for a duration. Could be kind of useful.
He needs to hoard them until he needs to use them later.
This is literally the 3rd hardest boss in the game.
But what if?
Yeah, but what if?
I'm just saying that if you put these, like, you're not using your nails ever.
But what if?
I definitely would put your blood root on the right and then your metal shrapnel on the down. So that way you have your defensive stuff, your defensive consumables on your up and your down, and your aggressive consumables on your left and your right. That's what I would do.
That's 15. Oh, this is more and better.
So it's like, if you use the damage ones, just do the same pattern you've been doing, but now you're going to finish the boss fight 25% faster.
Yeah.
You know?
I got you.
Like, do it, but yeah, about to say, like, do it right before you hit him or whatever. Or...
Do it after I hit him.
Hey!
You know, it takes him 2 seconds.
Holy shit, that is not a lot of time. You're dealing 94. That's wild.
Okay. Let's time that.
Oh my god, look how fast you're going through this guy's health bar.
Once again, talking into the void. I said the time is not that bad.
What?
Unless you're like dead, then I guess.
That
I don't even know what happened to you there.
That certainly didn't hit me.
Now, this is why I said maybe you would want to equip your less, like not the 25%, because you only have 3. and I would hate for you to burn through all 3 and then be like, oh, we're done.
Watch him burn through all 3, and then the one afterwards where he's not,
like the 4th one, he just beats it.
Yeah, then he beats it.
So you're the one also use some consumables.
Right, but I'm saying like use the 8 first and then the 3. You use your less valuable stuff first.
That's another bullshit.
I don't know what happened. He went back up. Yeah.
What? That's phase 2. I'm so glad I didn't use consumables because this is kind of
that thing didn't flash.
This is kind of trash.
Ooh.
That was a cursed run.
That's what happened. You're being punished for using a consumable, Lawrence.
The game's like, fuck you!
I didn't even use a consumable, that's one.
No, I know, but it knew you used it in the past. So.
Fine. Where's the...
Gods are telling you not to use the consumable, Lauren. Don't fall for it.
What do gods know? Fuck them.
I mean, they fuck themselves. That's why they created this place.
A lot.
Or
Good
once.
job, Lawrence. That's a good joke.
Or depending on which gods you talk about, Lawrence. Because some do a lot. Misbegotten.
Bro.
What the fuck?
Oh.
You whacked him in the eyeball and it dealt 150 something damage instead of 40.
I'm assuming his eyeball maybe is the weakest part of the guy.
And previously you were just hitting his head, not the eyeball specifically, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe it's like consecutive hits. Like you have to hit it multiple times in a row and it
Maybe.
scales.
Let's see.
Slap. 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 Slap.
Slap diddy slap slap. Clap diddy.
I gotta remember to go to the other side. Okay.
Oh, the hit.
Yeah, that was a double whammy.
That's a rough pattern.
Yep. Saw that one coming, and nothing I can do about that. Excuse me, fellas. Excuse me, teeth. I haven't done the most recent Archon quest yet. I think is it an Archon quest?
Yeah.
The one with Dainsleif?
Yeah.
Oh, with the Elan.
No, that's.
Oh, that's the event.
Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Yeah.
Nice, we're in the same boat, except I still have to do Dainsleif too.
I mean, I still have to do that one.
We got like what, a week left? That's
Yeah.
about yeah. Let's do it, gang.
I mean, if I can do Yelan first, I actually would prefer the Venting before going to Dainsleif, because I feel like
You can do the event one first.
Yeah, I'm gonna check, because before it was like, yo, you couldn't do it, or it didn't say so. Or I know some of them, it's only like, oh, it's probably best if you do this first, but if you like click on it again, you can like it'll be like, are you sure you want to like brute force into doing this? And you can just say yes.
That might have been just for the. Oh shit.
Maybe? I don't know. I'll double check after stream. I'm back. Oh, there's a swipe.
That was excellent, Lawrence.
Smack
And he took the
down.
time to heal. This guy has played Dark Souls before.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he switched it up.
Oh, he did a punching move.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, I see you. I know what you're trying to do. Oh, he didn't pull. Oh, eh. Ah,
Lawrence, hit him.
It's over. It's over.
just hit him!
There you go.
Let's go.
Oh my
That's his
god.
eyeball.
Yo, one health bar.
I think that's your prize, sir. I don't.
Let's go.
Give
He
me,
did.
give me.
After trial and error, he did it.
Excellent
That's it,
work,
boys.
Lawrence. Congratulations on your upgrade. When
Calm
you
down.
go to... Yeah, there you go. So now, when you see items, you can just pull them to you instead of having to go pick them up. There are a handful, like at least 6 that I can think of, items in the game that are impossible to pick up without this power, and I didn't know how to get them. And you figured it out by defeating the boss.
Lawrence, God mode.
Now
Hell
I
yeah.
can pull things.
Lawrence, that was incredible. You didn't even end up using any of the fucking damage stuff.
Oh yeah, huh?
You totally like immediately forgot about it, which is fine. You did great.
Not necessarily forgot about it. I just figured I got to use this on a run when I'm feeling it, and I guess it just happened.
Good job, Lawrence. So you'll recall as well, not only is that an incredibly difficult boss fight that you just handled, which is very impressive, the consensus online is that this boss fight is nigh impossible prior to getting a certain mobility option that you acquire later in the game. And oh look,
nigh impossible. What a joke.
I was saying this is the small enemy that's gonna fucking kill me. I feel it. Someone
there you go.
gone.
Jesse fled.
Jesse did flee.
He went to yell back at those people who were saying that this boss is too hard.
Yeah.
Look, you don't even need to walk. You didn't even engage.
Awesome. Incredible. Give me your tooth. Give me your ribs.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yes.
You want to do something kind of fun?
In this area?
I don't think it's in this area, no. As you make your way out, because now you want to go back to the world pillar, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make your way to the nerve pass.
Let me hit this up.
Also, how much fucking stuff did you get?
I don't know. I don't even.
Oh, I think Jesse might have messaged me. You got 3,000. You can get some stuff.
I got one thing. Fuck it. Strength.
Sounds good. Oh, that's Grant.
Actually, do I have any? I don't have any green. Or sorry.
Maybe Jesse's internet died or something.
Maybe Jesse died.
True.
Get out of here. You're useless to me. Where am I going? Right. Down? Wait. Could I have gone right from down there?
It kind of looks like it, but I don't know how you would have. I guess maybe it was a secret. Maybe it was a secret tunnel. You want to go back and check?
Guess I can double check.
Think. Should be on your right. Yeah. Yeah, just fucking whack that, I guess.
Maybe it's higher?
That doesn't look like it.
Maybe it's like...
How the fuck did you get in here? Oh.
There's somewhere else. This is different.
It's such a weird alcove to be in.
Oh, bait. That's fine.
I guess you just gotta go right.
I mean, he emptied he filled up the map, so it says it's not that.
Well, secret tunnels don't show up on the map until you find them.
No, I know, but it's like he already hit it. And I think it just seems like there should be something there, though. But maybe, yeah, you can only access it on this side.
Mayhaps. Further
down and then to the right. Yeah. Woo!
No, thank you, sir.
So have we finished with this area after killing the vulture? Technically,
this area was done when you killed the vulture. Yes, because you got the item that you needed.
Oh, and this is the
vulture's lair,
the boss. Yeah. Well, not the vulture's lair. It was the jawbone dude.
Oh, jaw crab.
Crab man. Yeah.
Thanks.
Jesse's back.
Welcome
back, Jesse.
Discord crashed.
Ooh.
Damn.
All right, Lawrence. Don't head back to the world pillar. I would like for you to head back to Unformed Desert.
All right.
I'm gonna need you to open the map. I'm trying to remember. You see, so you have a surrogate on your left and a surrogate on your right.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna make your way with the last like 10 minutes of stream here. You're gonna make your way to the surrogate on your right and just check that area out a little bit.
Okay.
Great, that sounds enticing.
Sounds mysterious. Right. Get out.
Oh, poor guy.
Get out of here. My strength is stronger.
My strength.
Oops, my bad, boy. Alright, let's see what we have here. Excuse me. This is the right area, right?
Yeah, you have to go down. You have to go down and around, I think. Or can you get it from here?
I'm hoping I could get it from here. Ah,
yeah,
no, I
that's
cannot.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
That's right.
I had pasta yesterday, but I think I'm gonna have pasta again today because I am dreading this week. I'm also really upset because so apparently the Red Cross has like been over hiring people recently because they need more people to work the DCSS.
And they're gonna let all those people go.
What?
I don't know.
No. It was just they're overhired for a bunch of people, but they still need the people, but they just don't have the trainers necessary to handle all of them. So essentially, instead of having groups of like 2 or 3, they're combining people into groups of like 4 or 6, which isn't really that bad, but it does mean that the person that we've been training with for the past like 3 months is moving to a different group. Go to your right.
They're like exhausted of having to deal with everyone.
They are helping out more people than usual. Is it this thing that you were talking about?
It's yellow.
Oh, it is yellow. Fuck, can't see shit.
Ribs. Hands. Those are some hands.
Oh, you
thought he couldn't get you.
Alright, just die. This guy was gonna take all the items like that.
Now you're just gonna do that forever.
All the hands. Is that
Welcome.
boss?
Hello.
Oh, it's not a boss.
What is it? Another foolish pebble. Your kind should know who stay. Ah, that ball. Did the fucking his sword's like snapping to position? Who dared sculpt a pebble under the broken sky? But no, not a pebble. That material, that head. The spiral heart. That's what it was. Not the heart of darkness. The coda foretold your coming, and with great joy. Yet, I knew we should rather fear it.
So knowing... Oh, you gotta fight him. Ooh, yikes. Knowing what we know about codas, I guess that means you are the end, but that also means everyone else will die. That's why they fear. Dude, his dual swords
did
are
you
cool.
activate the surrogate while you were there?
Yep.
Below you?
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
Ooh, okay, a little.
Could you grab the yellow one?
Okay, this is an interesting fight.
Maybe he could grab that yellow projectile. That's true.
It's yellow.
Shit. So I'm guessing this is the guy you want me to fight?
Yeah, it's another optional boss fight. You just beat the third hardest boss fight in the game, and I was like, oh, you can beat this guy. Can he beat him in 6 minutes? Maybe.
I would say that's the.
I mean,
Depends on how long it is to get there.
You got to almost half on like your first attempt, so.
It's still 6 minutes. That's gonna be real tight. Oh my god, I can't believe I dodged that.
We gotta talk about? No, I think once you've done the...
Okay, I didn't see you, buddy.
Don't forget to pull. There you go. Pull. Yep. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, you did manage to do that.
Heal. Yes.
It didn't do a lot of damage though.
But I mean, at least he didn't have to take the projectile. Pull.
Dang.
Huh. Him.
Dashes are slow, my man.
Your dashes are weak. I parry the shit out of you.
Shit.
Pull. Yes.
Get down here. Get over here. Oh, shit.
You need to deflect something. I don't think you can deflect that one. You can deflect that one though. Oh.
Oh my god.
Just ran into you though. Oof.
Well played, my man. Well played.
I like this boss fight. I think this is an interesting boss fight. It also is cool for like lore stuff, but you know.
I like boss fights, but
It's also interesting
humanoid.
because he's like a humanoid like you are.
Yeah.
We've actually seen one of this type of person before. Other characters have referred to them as the Carven, but Lawrence, you saw one of these guys at the World Pillar.
Yeah, they were really mean.
He was a mean guy. There is a distinction between the two of them, though, which I don't think we'll be able to get to today. Hopefully, I'll remember to point it out next week.
Shit.
And now, if I may be honest, I did think that this guy was the guy that you got the Carven Greatsword from. I didn't realize you just found it.
I mean-
Greatsword.
Yeah, he's carrying swords. He does appear to be the sword guy.
He do be dual wielding some great swords.
He's literally just dual wielding the greatsword that you're using, implying that he's better at it.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a
More unga bunga.
circular
Well, I mean,
head.
so
He
far,
is
he
more
hasn't been
unga bunga. That's so right. Shit. Annoying enemies, I swear to fucking Christ.
Boy, you jumped so early for that.
Oh no.
Slow hit me. Never mind. Oh,
It was the
it's
red
got
hit.
turned.
Lord thinks he's fucking slick. Oh my god! The Desert Watcher! Oh, dude, Desert Watcher versus Misbegotten Amalgam, who wins?
Misbegotten so far.
No, but I like that. I like the idea of like those two meeting in lore, and the Desert Watcher just fucking wipes the floor with the Misbegotten Amalgam.
Like, you mean you can't do twice the damage? Oh, fuck. You can't do twice the damage? Get down here.
Stay here!
Take it.
There you go.
Take it.
Nice. Big swing. Nice.
Get down here. Oh,
That's a
shit.
pull.
Oh, out of stamina.
That's a deflect.
Damn.
That's fine. You got the second one. Pull. You gotta
Nice,
get
you
that
gotta
one
dash.
ardor.
Fuck, man.
No.
Hot dog.
Okay, again. Sure.
But what if I
diggity
try it
dog.
the third time? Oh.
Oh, oh,
All right,
shit.
real quick,
Doesn't do
Lawrence.
it.
Here
All right.
on your last attempt, and then we'll be done with stream for the day.
right.
Use a consumable.
Oh, sure.
Not now, obviously, but yeah. Because I think you could do both. I think you could use the damage and the protection.
Let's see if I can do it without any of these fucking spearmen.
Just deflect.
Not when I'm climbing, dog.
I don't understand, dude. Just deflect. It's easy. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Big hits, dude. Nice.
Oh, not even that far.
What the fuck?
Fuck.
You like staggered him, I guess?
I guess so.
Oof.
Oh, that was farther than I thought.
Oof. I love it when he just does that twice.
Yeah. Damn, bro. It always throws me off.
Oh well. That
used
was an
the attempt.
excellent job, Lawrence. We didn't make as much like literal progress as I was initially anticipating, but you did fucking beat the third hardest boss in the game way earlier than you're supposed to. So huge kudos for that. That's awesome.
What was the skill? I guess that might spoil it, but
yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what the skill is. When we get it, I'll tell you what it is. But
all right.
what's your level? Can you check that real quick? Can't while interacting. Nice. I think it's on. You're level 32. So how many? You leveled up like twice since beating him, right?
I think so.
Okay, because the guide online says that you should be around 35.
Oh well.
So you were close-ish, but 5 levels is 5 levels. You know what I mean? Like that would be tough.
Can be plenty.
So good job. We'll be back on Friday with Professor Layton, and then instead of Vampire Survivors after that, we'll do just a little bit of a Steam Next Fest showcase. I think I'll show like maybe 4 or 5 games, like 4 or 5 games on Friday, 4 or 5 games on Saturday. Just whatever is the top 10 that I like or whatever. And then Sunday we'll be back with more Grime, and hopefully Lawrence will still enjoy the game.
Very cool.
The next area that you're...
areas are more fun. The last 2 were... Oh boy.
The next areas...
Funner enemies, come on, at least.
The next areas, I can tell you, they're frustrating, but in a different way. It's more platforming oriented. It's a lot less about bullshit enemies and more about just like kind of rough platforming. But like as with everything else, you'll make your way through it. You'll get to the palace, and then everything from the palace forward is fucking stellar. So you'll enjoy that a lot. Cool. But yeah, and then Jesse, as I said to you before, I mean, you've seen what this game is, so it could be a little bit longer than I initially anticipated, but about 2 weeks in advance of Outer Wilds is when I'll reach out to you and Grant to make sure that you're both still available, and then we'll figure that out when we get there.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night,
Good
all.
stream. Good night.